All right, boom. And we are live with another episode live on location of the Brownwater Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates all day long.
That's right. If we're running the one camera running gun, I'm going to let our guests introduce themselves tonight. We've got Chase Holland from Chase Holland Racing.
How's it going, guys? I'm glad to be here.
And Haleigh Gross from Gross Family Racing.
Yes. How's it going, guys?
Usually mess those up big time. So we're here live at Salt Pepper Oak. This is the second live that we've done on location. So we walked in tonight and Vincent was like, hey, I got some people y'all need to talk to. And here we are. So before we jump into that, we're going to thank our sponsors real quick right out the gate. The people that help keep the lights on when we're in our normal studio. Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. If you're looking for a great local dentist, hit him up at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Facebook and Instagram. When you're ready to book that appointment, give him a call at 228-215-1202. Our buddy Tyler at Taylor & Cox Law Firm. If you find yourself in need for some legal representation, give them a shout, man. They specialize in felonies, misdemeanors, DUIs, family law, you name it. They got you covered. You can give them a call at 228-696-0111. Our buddy Rocky Brooks. We got a couple of these. I should have told you all about that.
Yeah.
Our buddy Rocky Brooks
Okay.
over at Seed and Swamp. You can look
Some
them
people
up
really
on
like us.
Yeah, you can look them up on Facebook, Seed, the number 2, and Swamp. 2 locations on the Gulf Coast, Goshen and Gulfport. They got all your outdoor apparel and tackle needs covered. You can give him a shout at 228-205-3964. 2 more. We got Kendrick over at Forever Young Men and Women's Health. If you still haven't got that New Year's resolution on, you still feeling like a big turd and you can't get off the couch, go to Forever Young Men and Women's Health.
2 weeks and you're still a bum.
That's right. You got just a little bit of time left before you miss that first month. He can do some blood work on you, check your hormones, check your vitamins. Maybe you need testosterone replacement. He treats men and women. Just throwing that out there.
Bring your girlfriend.
Give him a call, 228-363-6623. And last but definitely not least, our buddies over at Dewey Do Bugs in D'Iberville across the street from the Scarlet Pearl Casino. They're specializing in boiled seafood, and I've heard nothing but good things. So go give them a follow on Facebook and tell them we sent you. So sorry about that, guys. I didn't tell y'all that we have to run through that
You're okay.
before every show. So, all right, we're talking racing here tonight. I know literally nothing about racing.
Correct.
So, and we just ignore the camera too on this. So Joey, what's your status on the racing? Do you know anything about it at
I
all?
know a little NASCAR, but y'all are definitely different. Y'all are dirt track, right?
Yes.
Certainly. So, and that's kind of the problem that we face down here in South Mississippi. Outdoors, fishing, hunting, all of that stuff seems to be the big thing around here, but racing's overlooked, and that's it's kind of a problem for us when it comes to getting local sponsors and things like that. But on a national level, as far as the social media stuff goes, we've been able to create a really good product. So
break it down for us two idiots. Like, we know NASCAR, right? A little bit. I don't know a lot about that either.
Yeah.
But what is the tiers of racing? Like, how do you even get started in something like that?
okay, well, so local racing here is nothing like NASCAR. Let's
Right.
It's relatively simple. I mean, it's as simple as you go out to your local dirt track. Our closest one currently open is going to be Hattiesburg Speedway, and it's about 45. It's probably about an hour from here. But you go out there, you pick which class you'd like to be in. There's probably 4 or 5 classes that run per night. The class we race in is a dirt open wheel modified class, and you just get on Marketplace is the simplest way to do it. There's tons for sale. And then it's kind of however much you want to spend as far as that goes.
Like any other hobby that a man does, right?
Yeah,
or woman, it's expensive.
Yeah. So let's jump with her. How did you get into it?
I actually got into it pretty late. So my dad actually started racing when I was a little bit older. So he started pretty young. He started in karts and Mandalero karts and stuff like that. I actually jumped straight into what they call a B modified, and then jumped up to the next class in an A modified. So it's basically a lower class of a modified, a little bit slower paced.
Okay.
They've got different rules than the A mod. So typically if you're starting out, you start in the B class and then move up to the A.
I got you. So they kind of break you in a little bit. They don't throw you
Right.
in.
You don't go with the big dogs first. Yeah.
That's more than I knew right now.
It's going to be a learning interview.
Yeah.
Because I don't know nothing about it.
We don't have that down here, though. That's something that's kind of more Missouri based. Like down here, we don't really have kind of a beginner's class, so to speak. We used to have kart racing and stuff like that. And now, like, if you want to get into racing, you have to start
with the big dogs.
Right.
My, go ahead.
We used to have Gulfport Speedway,
Right.
and I remember going out there one time.
Never been.
I mean, cool as can be. Everybody parks in the infield. I mean, everybody's just walking around, kicking up rocks, and then they fire the cars up, and it's like boom, boom. It was a cool place to be, and everybody was there in town.
I've heard nothing but like, I'm gonna keep going NASCAR, but like how much Talladega, how fun that is, and how it's like a party. People hang out. It's almost like a Mardi Gras vibe and stuff like that. Like obviously, probably a smaller scale we're talking, but is it the same party atmosphere? People hanging out.
Depends on the track.
Okay.
Depends on the track. Depends on the event too. I would say like some pits get more rowdy than others. So just kind of depends on what group of guys you've got. If you've got the Lucas Oil late model guys, especially in the Midwest, you're probably going to have a party in the pits.
Sweet.
So like as far as our local level and stuff, like I really enjoy it because like Vincent supplies us with barbecue. So we go out and we have just,
So y'all are fed good.
At least you're eating good.
Right. We have just platters full of food and stuff. And then we have our sponsors, family, friends and stuff. And we have our own, it is very similar to Mardi Gras and stuff like that. Except I think the best way to describe it is kind of like one of your local Friday night football games.
Okay.
You know, a bunch of people gather, you know, there's tailgate and stuff, you know, the fans do their own thing. They come hang out. We do our own thing. And then eventually you watch the event. So,
Right. And is it y'all are pulling up in RVs with your cars in tow, or is that how it pretty much is?
man, it's everything from like just your daily driver pickup truck with the open trailer all the way up to like we have a 377 Peterbilt stacker trailer that hauls 2 cars with a full garage in the bottom section of it.
So it goes back to how much money you want to spend.
Right.
Yeah.
You also get people in like the old buses that are redone with
Right.
an old open trailer. Just pull up.
Is there a circuit? Is there a number of races that you have to hit a year, or you pick whatever race you want to go to?
You pick. You
So
pick.
you pick like on our local level. You can run Crate Racing USA, host a sanctioning body down here where you can run like the street stock class, which is like a full body car, more traditional style car. It was originally like junkyard parts, put these cars together, go racing. Now it's developed into like a full blown race car. And then you've got the late models, the crate late models where you race, you know.
Are you tapping the
Yeah, I'm tapping, man.
tap away? We're live on TikTok on the
Yeah.
Brownwater for the first time ever, and Joey's over there trying to get the engagement.
Yeah,
up.
we're engaging.
So go ahead, though. Back what you're saying, it's the
So like the crate late model stuff is more like you've got a chassis builder from clear across the United States, or some are built locally, and you know these guys are like it's big time.
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, so that's our only kind of local sanctioning racing stuff where you can gain points, and that goes towards the national level. And then we're actually a couple of our local guys were able to win that regional deal just by local racing at our local racetrack. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah. When you show up, is there any money involved? Is that why you show up? Is there to win the race? What do you usually win? So if you win a race, what do you usually get at one of the smaller tracks?
At a smaller track, like a home local track, I'd say it's anywhere from like 600 to 800.
Okay.
Possibly even as low as 5. It just kind of depends on the purse that the track is sponsored by and stuff like that.
Right.
A bigger race, probably we're getting into 2,000, 1,000, and so
And
on, and higher.
What is your buy-in? What do you have to pay to race? Is there a race fee?
It's typically $100 for
Okay.
a car of a bigger race, if not just a pit pass.
I
So
got you.
$30,
It's
$40.
typically $35 to get in the pit.
Is there any pictures of your cars on Facebook somewhere I can pull up while we're talking?
Yes.
All right. So I'll go to your Facebook page
Chase
first.
Holland Racing.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You'll keep it rolling. I'll be able to flash the.
Are all these tracks dirt? Is there any kind of
There is
asphalt? Yeah.
We don't really dabble in that. But yes, sir. Everything down here is majority dirt.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you said earlier that it's tough getting down here. How are y'all grinding out sponsorships? How are y'all making, y'all's brand what it is today?
so it was very difficult starting out. I will say that. And like social media has become the major thing. And like I can honestly say that out of X amount of sponsors, like only a quarter of that % are local businesses that support me. And I really appreciate having those local businesses support us, but it's rare that we get that. All
Yeah.
of my stuff is more northern and to the east and west. We don't really have anything local. So it's very difficult down here to gather sponsorship in our area for these cars.
Would you say the race community is not that big down here?
It's not.
Okay. Yeah.
people don't really, you ask.
I don't feel like
somebody
people know about it though. Like it's something I would like to go
right.
check out. And I know, like you said, like the Gulfport track or whatever. And then we've
Yeah.
heard like Zach
got into a little bit with Outlaw. Is he still running that? Is that track still open?
That track's up in the air on what it is or it isn't going to be. I know at the early stages of it, it was a really great place to be, and it looked like it had great potential. But as it progressed, it just kind of trickled down. The hype trickled down, and then some things took place that kind of slowed it down. But yeah, Zach has a local track that I don't know if it'll reopen or not. I'd love for it too, but yeah, he did that.
See what he's doing.
So I'm gonna flash. This is your page right here on the screen. You can kind of peek around. That's your car there for people that are watching on the live.
Yes.
Okay, well that's sweet. Can you describe it to us? What we're looking at here? Let me see. There we go. That ought to do it better. If I had that output like we were talking about earlier, we'd have it on the screen. That's how our studio is. Yeah. But can you describe your car to people that are watching here on the live?
So I have an MB custom chassis. This car is a 66 to 78 Chevelle front clip. So it's a stock clip car that it's a aftermarket cage and stuff like that that's tacked onto this car, welded onto it, and it's stocked with. We are open wheel modified, so the front half of our cars are missing, so to speak. A lot of cars have fenders.
Right. Yeah, we can see. I can see that here in the photo.
Right. This is an open wheel car, and our stuff, like the traditional modified, is like a big, just a nasty, like 600 to 800 horsepower car with little bitty tires on it. So it's kind of it's more of a
class.
It's not kind of a class that you start out in because it's very competitive and the cars are very difficult to drive.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Aggressive is how I would describe it.
So describe yours, and I guess you're kind of in the you usually stay in the B class. Is that what you
So
say?
I am an A mod now. I started in the B class about 3 years ago. It'll be the 4th year this year, 4th season.
Right.
My car is the same exact as his, except it's a different chassis.
Right.
It's a long shot instead of an MB.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I
try.
don't know. I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
What that means.
Custom is Mars Brothers Custom. Jimmy Mars and Chris Mars developed this car, and they are out of Menominee, Wisconsin, so like 20 hours away from here.
Right.
And I didn't mention it before. I'm from the Midwest. He's actually from down here. I just moved down here, so I'm a little bit new to the racing atmosphere.
Yeah.
Here, it is less than Midwest is like prime area for racing.
Right.
But Michael Long is out of the Midwest, and he's his own. He has a self-built chassis, so he manufactured a certain amount and sold them.
Sweet.
I've got your page pulled up here, and this is her dad. I can't spin it all the way around.
Yeah.
And then your car, both of y'all's cars here, and then who's the?
That's my little sister. Yeah,
so
she's 9.
What is she driving here? That's way smaller of a car. Looks like a go-kart.
Yes, that's a go-kart.
And
Yeah,
what
that's
class
a
is that?
beginner. It's a 206 beginner kart class. She'll actually move up this year, which is really exciting.
So
Now that's super cool.
It's
Yeah.
a family event all the way
It
up,
is.
right?
It
That
is.
is
What's the first race? They got tricycles out there.
How fast is that car she's driving?
Oh, I don't know how fast it goes. Probably, I would say 35-ish.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And how old is she?
Wow.
She's 9. She'll be 10 in February. Yep.
Sweet. I mean, you just answered my question right there. You definitely don't have to have a driver's license to compete in any of this stuff,
No.
right?
Yeah, it's
No.
not a road.
Yeah,
right? It's
you
on a
just
track.
throw them in there and tell them, "Hey, good luck."
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's legit. That is legit. You mentioned earlier about like your sponsors not being because I guess the race community is not that big down here. The ones that you have that are like, I guess, national or regional, you'd call, is it automotive related sponsorships or does it vary?
It kind of varies. I have Industrial Dock and Door being one of my biggest sponsors. They're out of, I guess it would be Appling, Georgia, and they go to these big warehouses like million square foot, not million. I think it is million square foot buildings and like Walmart and stuff, and they put the docks and the doors, high speed doors in for these big businesses like Amazon and stuff like that. So they aren't very like their business isn't automotive oriented. And then I've got like a diesel guy, Michael with Apex Fab in North Carolina, same general deal. He's in the diesel business, generators and stuff like that.
Feels like it's in the ballpark though.
Yeah.
Right.
Something involved.
Yeah.
Right.
And do these people reach out to y'all, or you reach out to them, or how does that work?
So for Chase, a lot of them actually come through his social media. They find his videos, they see him. I'm relatively new, so we actually we reach out to ours,
Right.
and pitch, just kind of like, this is what we do. If you'd like to jump on board, then this is how you could support us, and
Right.
so on.
So you're grinding, and Chase he's already made it to the big league.
Yeah.
But I guess you started like that.
Yeah,
right?
he did start.
Doors down, and I was, the sponsorships down here on the local level, man, we were so thankful to get this $100 sponsorship, you know, and that got them this spot on the car and stuff. But there wasn't really anything that big at the time, and as we started growing on social media, like, it's become corporate level sponsorships and stuff like that. But it's definitely difficult to gather sponsorships, but it's also easy. Like, it's one of those things, like, you have to do a lot of work to do it, but it's rewarding.
Absolutely.
What is that still? How do you do pricing on a logo for your car? Obviously by size and just different tiers. I'm looking at your car again here. I see like industrial dock and door. I see the salt pepper oak on there, Twisted Tech.
It just costs you 3 briskets
Right.
Keep our crew fed.
That's right.
It's as simple as that.
Is that per season? How does the sponsorship how long does that sticker stay on there?
Yeah, a lot of it's seasonal. We do, a lot of it is a seasonal sponsorship, but we also do like race specific wraps. Like Twisted Tech came on board. We went to the Dome, which is the St. Louis, what's the name of that?
The Dome at American Center.
Yeah, they race inside of this dome. It'd be like us racing in the Coliseum.
Okay.
To put it into perspective, a lot of eyes on it, heavily streamed. And anyways, these guys wanted to be the premier sponsor, so like they pay a percentage, and then they become like Twisted Tech is the main sponsor on this car, and everybody else becomes small. So just depends.
Yeah, I guess y'all are kind of like NASCAR when they do the 4th of July races and stuff like that. They change the wraps on their car. Whoever wants to buy it, pay it up. Yeah.
Exactly.
And y'all are probably spending a good little penny getting to these races, right? You got food. What's the crew y'all usually bring with y'all?
So my crew started out as just family members and stuff like that. I had just my family working for me, and now we have so my uncle works for me part-time, and then I have a hired hand that we pay to go out on the road with me. So I have at least 2 guys that go out on the road with me consistently. She'll be out on the road with me more this year working alongside of us. But my family I'm in a family of 5, but my other 4 family members travel with us, and they play a major role. So family's kind of the biggest workers we have, helpers.
Are y'all only thing I can relate it to is like a bass tournament. When you get here like a day before and run the track to get your I'm talking like your bearings underneath you, or do you just get out there and run it wide open?
Some they have like an open practice where you can show up and test your equipment and make sure that you're somewhat dialed in for these events.
Right.
But for the most part, I mean, we show up the day of, at 2-3 o'clock during the day, and then we start racing at 6 o'clock. So it's kind of
so you just get in there,
Right.
Yep. And what is it? What is the typical race? What is it? Laps? Is it time?
What's the rules?
Yeah. Go into that for us.
So down here, you run like you'll go out and you'll hot laps. What it's called, it's practice. You go out for 3 laps. You basically dial in your equipment off of that. You're like, okay, everything's running right. We're good. And then you go out for a heat race, or you qualify. Qualify is where like the fastest guy, you're trying to lay on the fastest lap. And then the heat race, you stack up by a pill draw. It's like playing bingo, essentially. Like you draw a number, and that number could be the number 1 or number 8.
Yeah, it could be at the front or the back.
Right. So random draw for a heat race, and then where you finish in that heat race puts you in this. The heat race is 8 laps. Where you finish in that, you start in a 15-lap feature. So you may start 6th after finishing 3rd in your heat race,
right?
And anyways, the feature race is where the money's at, and that's where you get paid. So,
but it sounds like with each class, these probably take a long time, right? I mean, what are these? Y'all probably 8 hours, 9 hours at one event?
6 to 8 hours on a local level. Now, when we go out in the country, they're running 3 classes and like within 3 hours. Like they run a quick show, like it's production style.
Right.
Down here, it's more like a laid back. We've got 8 classes, and we're gonna take our time and so,
put on a show.
Right,
a little entertainment, sell some popcorn and some
When you say 6 to 8 hours, you're talking for the event.
For the event.
How long, say, like, will your race take typically? From the
If
time you get in the
everything
car.
goes smoothly, like I'm only on the racetrack for a total of probably 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh,
Total.
dang.
Really?
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
dang. That's
So
quick.
It is. It
It
is.
depends on the race too. Like features take longer. So features are probably 20, 25 minutes if there's not very many cautions.
Right.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you got to figure like a lap, like an average lap around a racetrack, you're 14 seconds. So you can run 14 seconds, 15 laps. You know, it's not a very quick
Right.
It's not a very long duration. You know, now when you go out on the road and race, we race 30 to 70 laps. Like I
Wow.
raced a 70 lap race before, you know, and it's a longer duration.
Now, when you
So-
say on the road, do you mean traveling, but you're
Yes.
still on a dirt track?
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because one of my questions is, what, as a driver, what's the difference between driving these cars? Because you only race on dirt, but what's that experience like versus like, you know, driving on a pavement or asphalt or whatever?
I mean, it's kind of it's
the
totally
weather
different.
involved, I'm sure, right?
Oh,
Like
definitely.
that's going to affect
Yeah.
your whole deal.
You gotta
So-
get your drift right.
Right. Right.
Yeah, definitely. So like, you know, sometimes the track's super slick and sometimes it's super heavy, like a mud pit almost. And
Yeah.
and you know, that's where it's like you figure out how fast you can go and stuff like that. When it's slick, you know, it's kind of more skill and setup oriented. You know, you can't really run as fast as you would like, and you have
Right.
to be cautious and stuff. So it's
So
like
you
driving on
going
black
to the wall.
ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess that happens, right? So you could drive 6 hours to get to an event and run into the wall on the first
Oh,
and be
it's
done.
happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a comment come in a minute ago from Dan. He said that he was a few years ago, he was at Hub City, and that's Hattiesburg. I'm assuming, as you're talking about a race there. He said Tony Stewart showed up with his dirt car. I guess he said some of these guys, professional guys, still run dirt cars as a hobby on the
Mhm.
side.
They do.
Okay.
They do. So like a lot of your NASCAR, you know, professional guys come back down to practice in the grassroots of dirt racing. And it's actually more competitive than NASCAR because
Right.
you don't have all of the technology, so to speak,
Gotcha.
that those guys have. So it becomes more driver related.
Yeah.
How does technology play in what y'all do? Keeping your car to like the maintenance on it, like, well, what's that aspect like?
So maintenance is very, very crucial to it. Like every 150 laps, like we tear our car completely apart and reassemble it with new grease, new bearings, new everything, you know, change fluids, stuff like that. And like your regular daily driver aspects, like 5,000 miles to you changing the oil. and
Right,
stuff, you know,
right.
typical maintenance. But as far as technology goes, like it's kind of weird. It all circles back around. Nothing's really changed in the dirt racing world. They've just improved on the areas that, you know, a dirt car is still a dirt car. They've just improved, kind of like an iPhone or just like your regular pickup. You know? But-
So is it like you're saying, you can spend all different kinds of money, especially in your equipment that you haul and stuff, but can somebody come in? It's like, oh, Jimmy's just got a ton of money and he wins races because of that, or the playing field's pretty level. Even if I got more money than you and we're racing,
Right.
it's still level because of the way the track is and the level of the game, or no?
Well, I would say that no amount of money, you can't just slide in a race car and be competitive.
Okay,
Right.
that's what I'm getting at.
But it does help.
It does. It does.
Yeah,
It does
Money
help.
does help.
The
Yeah.
Like the
learning
bass
curve's quicker.
stuff we were talking about
Right,
last
yeah, yeah.
episode.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. Explain your side. Is there because I've seen a lot of women, girls getting into racing. I mean, have you
Yeah.
seen an uptick?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of an uptake in especially younger girls.
Right.
The past, I would say, 3 years since I got into racing. It
That's how
was
long you
actually
been? 3 years?
surprising.
About 3 years.
This will be my 4th season.
Okay.
So yeah, relatively early.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of girls coming up. I think Haleigh Deegan honestly was the trendsetter in that. A lot of people pushed her, that women should do it more. And after that, once she started getting big, I feel like more women took into racing.
Yeah.
I'm sharing y'all's Facebook pages in the comments right now too.
So y'all, when you go to an event, you take your trailer. You got 3 cars. Boom.
2 cars.
Two
Yep.
cars.
Yep.
It's a top and bottom, right? I think I've seen your trailer before, right? You
Yes.
pull the bottom one out, and then the top one slides down.
Yes.
Dang,
Yeah,
we're jamming.
somebody's
Somebody
jamming
jamming
outside.
out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Why 2 cars at each event?
No, he's got a trailer with one of them's up top and one of them's on the bottom. So he drives the bottom one out, and then the top one goes.
Right, but I'm saying you're bringing 2 cars for your.
I'm bringing 2 cars to compete on a national level. Like when I leave out of Mississippi, I bring 2 cars in case one has a part.
2 of your car.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. That's
Now,
that's what I
this
thought you
year-
knew you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
This year on a local level, she will be driving some of my equipment.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
And then I'll travel back and race my own with my family.
And
that
so
way.
that's just for redundancy purposes. Like you said, if something catastrophic happens to one car, you use the other one. Is that what you're saying?
Yes and no. Like for the most part, yes, but we also have cars that are more track specific and like sanctioning body specific. Like there's different rule packages. So like they're both dirt modifieds, but one's tailored to this rule package and one's tailored to this rule package. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Pepper, thanks for tuning in, Pepper. She has a question. What is the typical cost of a car to get into it?
I would say like 15,000 could get you a turnkey modified right now in our class.
Okay.
You could spend probably 10,000 to get into a race, like a racing car of some other class, but our class is 15,000. Now the cars we race on the road with, it's 35,000 for them without the motor, and then it's another 30, close to 30 for the engine. So
Holy moly!
right,
Yeah.
I
And then
did-
the upkeep. What's an upkeep on that one per year? What do you think?
So I would say, I don't know. It's difficult to crunch the numbers, but like I ran close to 60 shows last year. I ran 60 nights of racing, and like I said, with all of that, engines have to be serviced
Mhm.
every, I would say 20 nights and stuff like that, and that's like a $10,000 rebuild. I would say upkeep, it cost me close to 150,000. It cost my sponsors, my program,
Right.
150,000 last year to run that. So
Dang.
Yeah.
So,
It's,
yeah.
That's a
It's
to-do.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I guess you just go to work to race, right? You go to work, tear a car up, and then
Yeah.
that's why you don't run to the wall. You don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, you don't want to have
That's right.
Did you, and forgive me if you mentioned this already because I'm doing all this
no,
stuff.
you're good.
Did you race not dirt only, or you do?
Dirt only.
Dirt
Okay.
only, yeah.
Okay. I thought I heard you say the opposite. Okay. So dirt only.
Go ahead.
No.
So we got your family backstory. Your family has a backstory in racing as well,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Can you
Yep.
tell us that one?
So it's actually a little bit complicated, I would say, but my dad
We got
races.
time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. My dad races. He's 41 years old. My sister races, like we talked
That's
about
not
earlier.
old, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, no,
That's
she's
how
just
old we are.
41 years old.
Keep talking. God, that stings, Joey. Don't take it. Keep going. Gee.
So his brother also races, which is kind of what got him into racing. And then on my mom's side of the family, he's also big on YouTube. Old Number 7 Garage, Tim Nash. He races as well. So we've got racing on both sides of the family.
Right.
And then me and my sister.
I love it. I love the family aspect
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Did he
It's
encourage
really-
you, or was he like, no, it's too dangerous, I don't want you to, or how'd that go down?
So I think beat down his door for about a year after he got into it pretty seriously. He had 2 cars of his own. I was like, hey, I want to race one of these. And he's like, you got to be serious. You got to want it. And then I finally beat down that door and it happened. So that off season, we got a car ready.
My only racing experience was when we went with Donnie to San Antonio two years ago, and we did the indoor, not Mario
Go-karts?
Andretti go-karts, but
Yeah.
this was a legit go-kart track. It was awesome. 2 stories where you go up and down. I'm not gonna say I dominated, but I dominated.
Okay.
So what do you think I could do on a dirt track? Honestly, guys,
Wreck.
shoot it to me straight.
Wreck.
Right out the gate. Boom, right into the
All out, not even
But
going
no,
anywhere.
I can only imagine what y'all experienced compared to what what I felt on this like tiny go-kart track.
Yeah.
It's legit.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else. I mean, it's like riding a bike. Like you have to learn it, but once you learn it, like you just get better and better. It's pretty quick to
Pick
catch
it
on.
up. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not terrible.
Explain the inside of y'all's cars, because I'm sure with the roll cages and stuff like that, I'm sure it looks way different than a regular car,
It
right?
does.
It does.
Do you have any electronics in there besides your dash? I mean, you got a radio or a microwave or anything like that?
Not at all.
The CD changer.
We have
Yeah.
air conditioning. We have air conditioning.
If you buy it, yeah.
Blower that blows.
Oh, I thought he was gonna. What is it?
Depends on the driver, but yeah.
2 windows down at 70 miles an hour. Yeah. The safety, the roll cages though, that's I'm sure a huge deal. But weight, right? Is that you're always fighting weight or no?
Not necessarily in our class. Like
Okay.
the weight's not really a big thing, but we're not struggling. Like our class is not one of those classes that you have to get all you can get out of your chassis, so to speak, like that, like weight
Okay.
and stuff. But yeah, I think it's safety is a major thing. I'm
sure they make you every track makes you wear your harness and helmets and
Yeah.
all. They probably check all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We led with this, but I hope if there's racing people watching this, we are green. So
Yeah.
these questions are legit. I'm like, these
Yeah.
idiots. Like,
Yeah.
no, we don't know. We don't have a clue.
Do you typically see the families of racing, like, like in NASCAR and stuff like that? You have families that stay in like the Labanis and all that stuff. Do we have dirt track families like that?
You
Sorry.
do. Yes. Yes.
Probably y'all's, it seems
Yeah.
like.
Yes.
right?
Like ours. Yeah.
and they run deep for sure. It's,
Really?
it's the same. Yeah. It's,
Any like because I think we mentioned Tony Stewart earlier. Any fist fights at the track?
Oh,
Like,
Yes.
Yes. Nice. Can we talk about that? Is there like any good
They
stories?
try to make not let them happen, but at the end of the night, they just happen anyway.
It's a
So
competitive sport.
Yeah.
well, their rule is if you're gonna fight, do it on the racetrack so that the fans can.
Oh yeah, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's
Like hockey.
entertainment.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Don't fight, but if you're gonna fight, do it where everybody can see it.
Yeah. They
Grab a
say-
chair.
they say we'll kick you out, but if you're gonna do it, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. You get
This
kicked
one
out
guy-
afterwards.
Yeah.
This one guy at the track, something happened or another, and they had a party like after the races, just after the races, and this dude hit him upside the head with a twisted tea.
Wow.
Or no, it was a Michelob Ultra. I'm sorry.
I like the
Michelob,
twisted
was
tea
thinking-
better.
Yeah,
We
the
can
gas
keep that.
station, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that.
So was
Yeah,
that an after party?
essentially?
Damn.
But
Because of something he did on the track?
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So he had a 2-seater car, and his daughter was riding in it, and this drunk guy threw a beer bottle and hit his daughter in the race car. So after the races, this guy got
from
out.
the stand.
This was a fan? Like,
crew
no,
guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Still.
he was a part of it. Like he's got a racing background. Yeah,
okay, so people in
They're
the TikTok
commenting who
know-
it is.
they call him Billy Badass. Like,
Oh,
he was
yeah?
like-
So he was the beer thrower, or he was the guy that received the beer?
he
Billy.
was the guy. Billy was the guy driving the race car with his daughter in there. Racing.
I like Billy. I like Billy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like Billy Badass.
And then after the races, Billy confronted the guy and hit him.
Le-
with-
so lessons were learned.
There we
I
go.
think so. I think so.
So what would be that like to have his daughter in the car with it? Is that something that's common? Is it a different race?
Is that a style?
Yeah.
In that particular class, you can have a 2-seater car.
Right.
It's not very common to see it because it's kind of a disadvantage,
Yeah.
weight distribution
Correct.
and stuff like that. It kind of
He was probably doing it for the experience for his daughter or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
What's Billy? They're commenting on ours, Billy Walker.
Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
Hey,
There we
Billy
go.
in here.
Oh, you gotta talk to Billy.
Billy's
Yeah.
a character. I
Yeah.
met him once at a go-kart
We
track.
just let them here at the go-kart track.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
On the beach, like he's a character. He would be.
We should do can we do pros versus Joes racing at
We would
car
get
track?
We need to do that.
Let's do it.
Do y'all do that for practice? I mean, when you don't want to run your car, is it kind of
It's just kind of for fun.
similar
Yeah,
to
that's
what it
more
is?
for fun. We have simulators. Like
Do
we
y'all?
have a
Yeah.
computer with the steering wheel and stuff that we play on to kind of simulate that stuff and put
Right.
ourselves in race conditions, but not. It's not.
Going back to the Billy story, what is race etiquette when you're passing somebody in a race like that? Because have you ever heard of a hit to pass racing?
Rubbin's racing, man. Rubbin's racing.
Rubbin's racing.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I stumbled upon it on Netflix somehow, and I think it's popular in Canada.
Hmm.
But the rule, so it's like like Destruction Derby,
Yeah.
Demolition Derby.
Demolition derby.
It's not. So that was just people just crashing in. This is an actual race, but the rule is in order to pass somebody, you have to hit them.
Oh,
in
wow.
some way, shape, or form.
We need to watch that.
It's hit to
Yeah.
pass is what it's called.
Well, when
But-
you got to pay for your own stuff, you ain't getting nobody.
well, because you're right. It's obviously because it creates
Right.
Yeah.
fun to watch. But
It's
for
WWE.
y'all, exactly. For y'all, what's the etiquette?
Well,
When it
a lot of people play that rule.
Yeah.
Even though that rule's
That
not
ain't
in
the
place.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of the problem. It's like you're supposed. We don't have mirrors in our race cars. Like NASCAR, you have a mirror. You have a spotter telling you he's high, he's low, he's around you, he's right there. Don't do
So
this.
you don't know
that.
what
You don't see
you don't know
until
what's
he's on the
behind.
side of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless I can see him through the peripherals, I have no idea where he's at. So if you sometimes you can hear them.
Hey, if you're in
We
first
ain't doing
place,
that.
if you're in first place, you don't
Everybody's
need to see
behind
anybody,
you.
man.
That's right, baby.
It
Everybody's
makes you
behind you.
paranoid, you know,
Yeah.
because you don't know if they're right on you.
Well,
and-
when you get kissed on the bumper, I used to call it the police, cops, police.
Yeah, they gotta kick you to the side.
You're in your race, right? I mean,
right, yeah. So, and that's kind of the thing is like you're constantly feeling and making sure like you're clear of stuff. But like I would say, passing, like if you can see them, you need to be cautious, like respectful, and obviously if they're alongside of you, like don't try to take their spot.
Yeah.
essentially.
What's that saying that they say? Their nose, their bumper. If you can see their bumper at all, you're not clear.
Right.
And that's how you just judge it. And
Right.
like he said, you don't have a spotter. You don't have anybody telling you who's where.
Pain Racing said nudge or make a line,
There
not
it is.
hit.
Yeah.
All
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
I want to go full demolition derby though.
Well, take us on the other side. Take us through your social media
Yeah.
Okay.
uptick.
So my dad actually did it. It was like it was a Facebook Messenger filter that he used, but he just used like racing sayings, like there's golf sayings and football sayings. He just did it racing oriented, and we posted it, and it blew up on Facebook. Like this was way back. This was about
What did
5
the
years
filter
ago.
look like? There was it.
Big eyed?
Okay.
One of those goofy looking-
crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
What's a racing saying?
Rubbins Racing.
Okay.
Robin's racing.
I'm trying to think of
I-
one.
They all
If
slipped
you're not
mine.
first, you're last.
Yeah. Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby. Yeah.
It was kind of along the lines of like just what someone in the crowd would say if they think someone's cheating or something like that. Just
Golf.
talking crap.
Yeah.
There's a list of banned things at a PGA tournament you're not allowed to say. While they're swinging to hit the ball, and one of them is sweep the leg, Johnny,
Sweep the leg.
from
Really?
Karate Kid. I think it's the funniest. Sweep the leg, Johnny. You're not allowed to scream that, or they will kick you out of a PGA event.
Wow.
So, and there's a
That's
long
awesome.
list
Yeah.
of things.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Look it
Wow.
up. Y'all look it up in the comments.
Yeah.
That's a free nugget there.
So we went crazy on Facebook with Pop's video, and then it just started snowballing.
Well, I was telling him about vlogging on YouTube. I knew it was kind of a fairy tale. I've heard people make money on YouTube, like Mr. Beast.
Right.
He was cool with money, but I didn't know
He's made a few dollars. Yeah.
a couple. So yeah, I started pounding that down, and then some other people started doing the YouTube deal. So it kind of solidified that it was doable.
Right.
So we
Right.
started doing that, and it was kind of it's been a 4-year process, but it's slowly grown and grown and grown and gotten bigger. So, but it's very rewarding.
Yeah, I'm sure that phone over there is blowing up, and it's crazy too because y'all were talking about Missouri and places
Yeah.
that people don't even really know. Probably don't know you at all. I'm stuttering over here,
Right.
but now they can watch you on TikTok
Well, and what a sport designed for
or TikTok.
Yeah, it's engaging right out of the gate, like
Mhm.
racing around a track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't say yet. How fast do y'all's cars go? You said 30 for the small one.
For the small
Your
one, yes.
9-year-old
Yep.
sister's driving. How
Yes.
fast can y'all's go
So I personally have been 115 or 20
on a
mile
dirt track?
Holy
on a dirt
smoke.
track.
I would say myself, I've only been about 90
Yeah.
because I haven't been
Only.
on as big
That's
of
still
tracks.
fast.
So
average is
yeah.
about 85.
Good
is what-
Lord, really? I didn't know it was that fast.
Yeah, I would have guessed
Yeah.
way lower if you'd asked.
And
me.
what's the size of the track? Do they vary?
they
They
vary.
do.
Okay.
Like a lot of our local stuff is 3/8 mile, so not terribly big. The track that I hit that was Bristol in Tennessee, like
Mhm.
asphalt track. They put dirt on top of it, and it was crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So they do that. They put dirt on top
They
of
do.
asphalt
Some
track.
of
Right.
your iconic NASCAR tracks, they'll take and put dirt on top of it and bring your dirt guys in the race,
Okay, so when you said
Yeah.
Is
Bristol,
it
though,
still curved like it was?
Yes.
just like it.
so
Holy
when
moly.
you said Bristol, you mean the NASCAR? Oh
The-
wow. Okay, so
yeah,
I just thought
yeah.
you meant like in that area. How does that feel to drive on that?
It was crazy. It was awesome. It's definitely
A little surreal. I mean, yeah.
no doubt. But it was also very scary because, we're not used to our equipment's not used to seeing that kind of banking and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Speed.
and you got to have
especially.
speed or you're
Right.
going to fall off of
Right,
it.
exactly.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Tell us about some accolades. Tell us about how many races have you won? How many championships? How many you got under your belt?
I would say, in my entire career, I've been racing since I was 5.
Damn.
Probably 40 races maximum, and that's a stretch. None of modified stuff. It's obviously documented, and I think I've got maybe 20 wins total in my modified stuff. But anyways, like and I've probably entered, man, I don't know, probably
A bunch.
Yeah, probably like 100 and something mod races.
I'm not smart enough to know if this is a joke or not. Has your airbag ever came out in a wreck? Y'all don't have it.
We don't have airbags now.
I was like, dude,
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Yeah, sweep the leg. Come on, there's no way. You got me, Brian.
So, I mean, you talked about it. Finishing second and third, you're still getting points, right?
Definitely. Well, we don't really run for points down here, and that's the thing. And I don't mean to be degrading to down here. It's just the truth of it. Like racing down here is kind of it's a joke. You know, nobody knows about
It's a
it.
hobby.
No, I mean,
it's a hobby.
It's a hobby. Okay.
So in order to better myself, I had to go out on a national level and race in the Midwest where she's from and places like that where they race 3 and 4 nights a week. And like racing is life up there. Like,
Really?
like they eat, sleep, and breathe racing. And down here, like y'all don't even know what racing is.
No.
Y'all know what NASCAR is.
Yeah.
And I barely know that. I
Right.
barely know that.
That's the problem, you know, and I feel like we have more enjoyable moments at the racetrack than we do anywhere else, you know. So I hope to one day be able to bring dirt track racing into perspective down here.
Yeah. We
That
talk
would be
about
cool.
on this show all the time, though. We're not into racing, but we love talking to people that are into whatever it is that they're into, whether it's bass fishing
Yeah.
or I don't care. And this is
Underwater
y'all's-
basket
yeah,
weaving.
underwater basket weaving, whatever, diving. I mean, we talk to a few different people that are into different things, but I just love to hear people talk passionately about their thing. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
killer. I wish it was bigger around here. I wish. How do you change that?
I think social media is slowly changing that for us.
Yeah.
I think the ways of promoting things are different now than they used to be, but I think ultimately it's going to take it takes money. It's going to take
Yeah.
bringing the right kind of purses down here to bring the right kind of drivers down here. Not that there's bad drivers, but bringing, you know, your more professional dirt guys down here to show, you know, to get our drivers better that are in this area
Yeah.
to make them work
Right.
harder and produce
So
better results.
it's kind of like a barbecue contest,
Right,
Like you
right.
can have a local barbecue contest, nobody cares, but we bring the big dogs in.
That's
then
in,
also
that's
it's-
in any sport.
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
we were here last week. Where were y'all? You know, you bring a couple big names in and everybody shows
Yeah.
up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Music's no different. you know?
Yeah. What do the crowds usually look like there?
It varies. Like, I mean, as far as fan base goes, like,
Do you have a fan base that follows you?
I fairly well amount down
Do they
here.
paint your name on their chest and say
Not like that, but it is pretty neat to be able to see like Chase Holland racing shirts, you know,
Yeah.
throughout the crowd.
That's
and,
cool.
And that's something that we didn't used to see. And now locally, like I can say that we see a fair amount. And I have great appreciation of those people that do that, and even on a national level. But it's just kind of, I don't know. The crowds are the same as if at any other sporting event. They have the people they love, the people they hate.
Right.
As far as quantity, it varies. I don't know like a number or a way to explain it.
Depends on weather too. It depends on a lot of
Yeah.
factors.
Yeah.
So just kind of depends.
But race car wise, you can see an average of at least 50 cars amongst those
Wow.
classes, which is a lot. But also, like when we go on a national level, like our classes down here, we may see 8 cars in our class, and like that's awesome to race against 8 cars.
Yeah.
When we go out on the road, like there's 50 cars just in my class, and only 24 of those guys get to make the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
We touched on the social media stuff. Are you leaning into that as well? Like with your,
I have been.
because y'all are a
yeah.
brand, right? You're a brand.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
brand coming
Yeah.
through. Like, are you doing the same thing?
I am. Yes.
What's your style? Like, how do you approach that?
I would say honestly that in the beginning it was just the fact that I was a girl.
Right.
It was a little
Cool.
bit different.
Yeah,
So
it
people
happens.
kind of
Yeah, yeah.
caught on to it, bit onto it, whatever. And then now I would say it's just kind of just showing how it is to be a girl in dirt track racing.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, what I'm asking though, like, are you on Facebook a lot? Are you doing a lot of TikTok stuff? Are you doing?
I have all of the platforms.
Yeah.
I would say the one I'm focusing on right now is definitely TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
Previously it was Facebook and YouTube, and I was trying to get that YouTube following up, but
It's tough.
it's kind of it's very tough, and
Yeah.
it's kind of at a plateau at the moment. So, just trying to keep
Move
the
on to the next
engagement
one.
up. Yeah.
Can y'all put GoPros in the car and film while you're
Yes.
racing, and then edit that video down and that kind of stuff? And
Is
Yeah.
that usually what y'all's is, or do y'all make like the whole thing, showing up, unpacking, getting
The
Yeah.
whole
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
like, could you do
You show the whole
TikTok live?
process.
on your phone while you're driving the race, or is that
I
Be
don't-
tapping like this and dropping.
I wonder.
that would be for real? Like you would get some engagement.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
think
give
that
us
they
half,
would
'cause we just
they
came
would
up-
frown upon it.
If people can sit there and tap on a glass and get people to watch on TikTok, like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely
Probably
watching.
Yeah.
on to have your phone like the.
I don't know. They got those mounts like they mount on motorcycles. Like it ain't coming off. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they'll have a problem with if it's like behind the driver, but if we can
yeah.
see it at all, it's probably no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because as a viewer, I would want to see your. I want it to
Yeah.
be your face that I could see, and then the cars
Yeah.
behind you.
Yeah.
But
The question I wanted to ask earlier about the cars, I can't just go to the junkyard and bring a car in there, right? You got to have an inspection. I'm guessing somebody has to
Mhm.
certify your car. Can you speak on that a little bit?
There's not really, there's a tech man there and there's rules to each class, but the days of just going to get a junkyard car are gone. Like everything's aftermarket parts
Right.
from like every class, from your beginner class on up. Like you can't just go to the junkyard, get a part and expect to do good. Now, as far as tech and specs on your vehicle and stuff like that, that again goes within the rules and it's kind of play at your own risk. Like you're expected to have, your seat
Harness
belts up to
and all that
date and
stuff,
all
yeah.
of that. But down here, they don't really, they do check in all of that, but they're thorough, but
Yeah.
we had a comment.
Yeah, we
come
got
in. Yeah, we got it. We had a comment come in from Alan. He said, "How did Chase partnering with MB Customs come about, and are you open to driving other chassis?"
So that deal, I got an MB custom because one of our other Mississippi boys, Brooke String, up in Jackson, Mississippi, essentially, was just wearing us out with an MB custom, and so I'm
If you
like,
can't beat them, join them, damn it.
yeah, exactly. The racing world's very much that. It's the same as like if a baseball bat, this baseball
Oh yeah,
bat's
yeah.
doing this, and they
Yeah.
all end up with it. The cars are the same way. He was wearing us out, so we ended up getting one, and through partnership with Kay Dillard, a guy out of Louisiana that set these cars up, we slowly worked our way into meeting Jimmy Mars and Chris Mars, the guys that developed these
Right.
cars, and those guys took us under their wing, and I had to earn their trust and their respect through a lot of things, but just by showing that we were loyal and we were going to
Yeah.
listen to what they had to say, and
You can't be
apply it.
just some Joe off the street and walk in there. Yeah.
No, and we spent a bunch.
Was that a
of money.
regulator's comment? You can't just be
Regular. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it was. But
Yeah.
anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely a loyalty deal on our side to earn their loyalty. But within that, like they've taught me things that I never would have learned anywhere else, and have basically given me things that I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else. So the loyalty on both sides of
Right.
the manufacturer and the driver. Are
You stuck
very
with them,
strong.
they're going to stick with you.
Right. So if I was to drive another chassis manufacturer, it would just be because I was driving for another car owner.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay.
But if I'm going to pay for it and I'm going to own it, it'll be an MB custom.
Do y'all do that a lot? Is it custom to jump in somebody else's car and just drive it?
It just depends on the person, I would say. I mean, he has definitely more offers than I've ever had,
Right.
but
So on a national level, like your national guys in dirt racing, they don't own their stuff. They drive for people. Like you own a car, you own a team.
So you're a
Just like
jockey.
NASCAR.
You're a jockey pretty much.
Right,
You just
right.
get
Yeah.
in there and go.
Yep. So the same
Just like the
Yeah,
NASCAR vibe,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm trying to. Yeah.
same exact thing as NASCAR.
Is it because the cost jumps up so high that why is it like that?
I would say it's production. You go from like a small business to a commercial business.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Yep.
like we go from racing 15, 20 races a year down here to now we're racing 60, 70, 100 races
Yeah.
a year.
Just it
with
grows.
those
So
guys,
the cost
so,
expands.
so that's kind of the difference. And they own the equipment. They wrench on the equipment. You're simply a driver
Yeah.
in the house.
So
just like
when
NASCAR.
you wreck 2 times in a row, your phone probably doesn't get rung back too much, right?
No.
We're gonna pass and go with somebody else.
Yeah.
We got 2 questions from the comments I'm gonna get to, but that I meant to ask this earlier, and you may have already said it again. I apologize. On your end of things, where you're at right now, currently for the 2 of y'all, are you doing the maintenance? You how much do you have to know about the mechanics of your car, and who's involved in keeping it running?
So essentially, I am the crew chief of my team now. My dad is me and my dad work together on my stuff. But as far as physical maintenance goes, I was doing 100% of my maintenance, and then I've got a guy now that I've trained to do maintenance for me, and he does 80% of it, I would say. So
as soon as you come off the track, he's taking care of the car.
Right.
All right. So here's some of the questions that came in. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Todd wants to know. Let's see. Haleigh, is your race car at the CHR shop?
It is not, and it will not be.
Okay. And I apologize.
It will be in Missouri,
Okay.
just with my family. That way I can go back home and race it. And then they've offered me to race their 21 in town when we are here.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
It's hard for me to screen these comments because I don't know what's the inside jokes and if anybody saying anything.
No, that's
so,
okay.
on our stuff, I know who's being an ass and who's not. So
Right.
I apologize if I say something, but
that's a common question we get. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Since I moved here, if it's going to come with me.
Okay.
So you're driving one of their cars, and when you go back to your family, you'll be driving your car.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Will Haleigh drive one of the Chase's cars this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then
Occasionally.
here's the going. AJ wants to know, did you fire the crew chief George for drinking too much beer on the
I
job?
might know George Gilbert. George Gilbert.
Yeah.
Man, George is great people. Like if you don't know George, you're not a regular human being.
He was in the shop today.
He's
Really?
great. But yeah, so we joked and called George our crew chief because he was drinking at the track with us, having a good time, and we go up with the camera and like, what you think, George? What do you want to do? And made it like, so we called George a crew chief and made people think that like we paid him big money to show up here, crew chief on the car.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
So yeah, George is fired, but
but he might get rehired. We don't
Yeah,
know.
it depends on what
See
he's
him
drinking
soon.
at.
Yeah.
Do y'all just go out in the shop and tinker like on the weekends? Do y'all just go out there and say, what can I do with this car and how can I make it better?
definitely, we're definitely lab rats. Like 90% of my time spent in my shop. So yeah, we like off hours, anything like it's full time.
Yeah.
He'll look over to me and just say something random about racing. And I'm like, really? You're thinking about that right now? Like, really?
At this moment in time, that's what you're thinking about?
I love it.
Oh.
I remember they
It does.
did an interview with Conor McGregor, and he was talking about when he would go out before he got big, and he'd be like eating at a restaurant. People would be trying to talk to him, and he's like, I was running moves through my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's very
"God,
much like
dog."
that.
He's like, I couldn't shut it off.
Right.
Is there an off season? Do y'all have an off season?
So locally, yes, and our all season looks like from November to March. That's an off season, big
Right.
window. Now on a national level where we race, like there's no off season. Like I've got 5 weeks off right here, and I'm like thankful to have that. So
Yeah.
so like they race year round all across the country, and it's just however much you want to race.
Yeah. So this is your full-time gig.
It is, yes, sir.
So you're a full-time, what do you call it? Dirt race?
I would
track
essentially
race?
say I'm a professional dirt racer.
There it is.
In
Yeah.
that, within
Yeah.
the social media stuff is
Right.
what funds it. So
And
Dang.
you're on your way.
Dang.
I'm trying to be. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say part time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a shift though in society right now, and I think it's cool where social media is funding people's
Hopes and
hobbies.
dreams.
Yeah, exactly. In a way that it might not have been possible just 5-10 years ago.
it is. But my deal is very much family oriented. Like without my family, I would not like my YouTube is built around my family of 5, and then the people that have come in that circle. But yeah, I mean, social media is like a vital reason that
Absolutely.
I'm able to do what I do. So
That's why we're sitting here tonight.
Right.
Do the you mentioned the guy from Jackson. Do the Mississippi boys kind of run together? Do y'all ever pack up, or is it just wherever we see them?
it's kind of wherever you see them. As far as like national touring guys, there's only one other person in Mississippi that's racing on a national level, and that's Spencer Hughes.
Right.
So like between him and I, we're the only ones that are consistently going out on the road racing. Brooks, that guy out of Jackson, was one of the others that was consistently racing, and he pulled back. So
Yeah.
Brad wants to know what was the biggest thing that you learned while you were on the USMT's tour? And okay, and would would you try it again if the situation worked?
I would say the biggest thing that I learned about the USMTS tour is like
Well, what is that? First of
So
all,
that is the United States. Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what it is.
United States Modified Touring Series. So that is a series that puts together a points fund that at the end, the winner of the points wins $300,000.
Wow.
I think it was $100,000 at the time.
Yeah.
But it's steadily growing just like anything else. But anyways, it was a series. It was like a 52 race series where you race all across the country and you show up and you race that deal. And that's what I did to better myself as a driver, because I raced on a regional level down here and was able to capture a bunch of our local wins, you know, the prestigious events that we have down here. So in order for me to grow, I had to go out. So
it's kind of like select baseball or select soccer. It's
Yeah.
select racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we raced the local stuff, did that, became really, really successful. And in order to grow, we had to go out and get our ass whooped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So, and excuse my language.
No,
but
no, no.
The way that's plain and simple. So we went and raced with these guys, and like I think I made probably 40 starts with them, and my best finish was a 4th place finish. The rest of it, like I averaged, if I made the show with these guys, I averaged like a 20th place finish out of a 24 car field. Like,
So it's legit.
yeah,
And they're
it's tough.
all very good.
So I would say the biggest thing that I learned is like consistency and just making sure everything's right consistently.
When you step onto that like bigger pond
Right.
kind of a deal, what do you notice about the other drivers? What are they? Can you feel or tell? What are they doing that makes them better?
They eat, sleep, and breathe it, and that's kind of the difference. Like down here, it's just like I said, very much.
But I guess what I'm saying, Joe, you can probably give better analogy than I can. But like, say for instance, you know, from college to NFL,
There's better driving,
Right.
right? Faster. They know how to take curves. I mean,
that's what I'm getting
it's
at.
just
Like,
not some guy that's sitting in the stands.
Well, no, no,
They
no.
stick to themselves.
they are very closed off. These guys are essentially monsters. Like they're not people
Yeah.
pleasers. Like they're not very outgoing. But the thing that separates them from a guy like me is like I said, down here I was only able to run 20 or 30 nights. These guys are averaging 60 nights a year.
Does that get like, I guess, but I'm more technical. They're better in the turn. They know how to shift a car. Like what is it? Is there anything you can pinpoint?
So
I get experience.
Right.
I get that, but like what is
it's ultimately experience, and then I would say it is very much it becomes a money pit at that point.
okay.
Because you can have crew chiefs, you can have this, you can have that, you can buy your way through technology, and all of these drivers, like once you hit that deal, it's very much like NFL or anything else in football, baseball, whatever.
The more money you throw at it, the better you are.
Everybody's good. Like all of these guys are good. Some nights this guy's better. Some
Right.
nights this guy's worse. Like it all is, you know, a coin flip. But overall, like these guys are the best of the best.
Yeah. What is the future look like? Is it staying in dirt track? Is there a level up from dirt track that you're trying to get to? Explain that.
So right now I run the open wheel modified stuff, and I'm trying to become a household name in that and be able to win those national races and be able to compete in the USMTS and better that average finish like that.
Right.
But what I will say is like the ultimate goal is to move out of the modified class and be able to race the late model stuff, which is where all of the money really is. It's kind of like the true NASCAR of dirt racing, like top of the line, everything all out. And that's team racing. That's where it becomes like you're a driver. You drive 4 people,
right.
And that's what you do. So
you're a hired gun,
right?
Yeah,
and that's essentially what I would like to do at some point. That's the goal.
Let's see. Aaron wants to know: will you be returning to the Indiana Dirt this year, and which Indiana tracks were your favorite?
I would definitely be back to Indiana. Like loved Indiana, Illinois, Indiana, that area. Like I could race 3 or 4 nights a week and just loved it. The tracks were small because they're more sprint car oriented tracks. So they're short tracks like quarter mile, 1/8 mile, like bull rings. So definitely, I'm going to try to convince my dad to go back to Kokomo, which was one of my favorites. And then Lincoln Park Speedway and like Greenville in Indiana. I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
Timothy wants to know: do you keep a record of each track?
For the most part, I'm supposed to. I keep a really good.
You don't get a mason jar and get the dirt off of it. and pick it
So
up and
that's really
decline it?
funny that you mentioned that. He actually does.
Really?
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
No, I do get little cues, but it's more souvenir stuff because we race so many different places throughout the year, and that's kind of what I did for her. Is like when I went to a place, like I got a piece of dirt from there, and I know like just a small little cube and when you start to compare it, like you didn't realize like there's so many different variances of dirt. Like I know that's crazy.
I've got bags of dirt just to sum that up.
Baseball players do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, every field they play on is not turf exactly. They just go and grab some dirt.
Yeah.
So here it is.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the comments have been rolling through, man. I appreciate everybody that's been asking. What I forgot what I was going to ask though. I don't remember now.
What is your social media dream? What are you looking to get there?
Man, I would just like to be able to. So, like where I'm at right now, my sponsors, it's kind of like a 50-50 split. Like sponsorship pays for half of it, social media pays for the other half.
Right.
I would like for that to transition into almost 100% social media funded or 100% sponsor funded, so that my personal profit would be bigger as far as that goes. So as far as numbers and stuff, I'm not really crunching numbers. I'm just looking for more support.
Yeah.
However that looks.
What about for you? Are you is this a hobby that's going to die off in a year or two, or where are we at?
I don't want it to die off.
Okay.
I hope that it won't, and
It's in your
that's the
blood,
plan
you
so
can feel
far.
it?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope that it'll continue to go further.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Where do we send people? I dropped both of y'all's family the racing pages in the comments below. People that might be listening to this afterwards, if they want to get in touch or they want to follow what you're doing, what's the best place? Where are you most active?
You can check out our website, Chase Holland, www.chasehollandracing.com. That'll bring you to all of our social media handles, our latest news, our latest merchandise, where we'll be racing at, stuff like that. So that's where you can find a lot of my stuff.
Is there anywhere, if like for the local people that watch our show, if they're like, damn, I want to go check out one of these races, is there any central location that we can go to that has all these local races listed?
It would be kind of more like they're Facebook oriented. There's not really a specific thing that says such and such is racing, such and such.
So just go to your page or your page and
Correct.
you'll have it there and they can come out. Okay.
Do y'all ever stream races? Like if somebody wanted to watch you race, do y'all ever stream races?
We personally do not, but there are streaming services that are there that are live streaming. One of which that is coming up around us that is streaming all of our local stuff is Hunt the Front TV. So
Okay.
What is that, like a subscription or something like that? You pay for it and you can watch it online?
Yep. So you can pay like $15 a month, catch all the races they stream, whatever.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Real cool.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it. That was a great talk.
It was a great
Sorry we're
time.
so green, but we learned
You
a lot.
explained everything to us.
Yeah.
I feel like I can go get in the car right now. I could probably win out all the races right now.
Well, listen, if y'all aren't doing anything, March 15th and 16th, y'all need to go to Hattiesburg Speedway right there in Hattiesburg.
Yeah, in the Berg.
Go there to the Berg. And then Saturday night, March 16th at Why Not Motorsports Park. It's about 2.5 hours from here. We are having my Pawpaw's Memorial Race there. This will be the third running of it. We're trying to work out all the details as long as we can get it all worked out. They're racing regardless, but we put on a 5,000 to win race every year there, or this is the second year that it'll be there as far as pay scale goes. But we're trying to have a good race there. So well,
that's awesome.
Check it out.
Can I get an autograph? I want 2 autographs.
Is there anything local before March?
No,
Not yet. Okay. All right.
So Hattiesburg, then check it out.
All right. Brandon said he'll be there. Hopefully
Get a
it's all
shirt,
done by then.
get an autograph, get 2 autographs. When's your next race?
The same race.
Same race.
I'll
Y'all
actually
race at the
be
same time?
racing one of their cars. So
Sweet.
All right. All right. Well, man, we appreciate y'all for being here tonight. That was killer.
Yeah.
We really do. I think we got Donnie's going to
We
come
got some
check
wild
us out.
animals
Yeah, they're getting a little.
Hear them, yeah.
So if y'all want to hang, but we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
y'all. And
Thanks
best of
everybody
luck
that's
to
been
y'all,
watching.
sure.
We're not ending the stream,
No,
but
no,
we're
no,
going to just
stay on.
transition guests here.
Yeah.
You want to go? Joey's tapping the.
I'm still tapping over here.
People can't see. We've got probably what 10 TikTok
gosh,
feeds.
there's a
We
lot.
have enough
There's a
technology.
lot.
We have more than a spaceship.
Man, good Lord. Looks like a
there's
shuttle
lights and
launch in
everything.
here. But thanks again. Thanks everybody on
Thank
the
Good
thing.
you.
luck. And we'll try to get out there if we're not, doing something crazy, but that'd be funny.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right,
Sweet.
go grab them if you want, huh?
Hey!
Oh.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm walking out.
Yeah. I'm going to try to entertain these people. We had a lot of people here on the live, so I don't want to kill it. We're going to bring, as you can tell in the bottom left-hand corner here, we're at Salt Pepper Oak. This is Vincent's restaurant located over here in I guess we're still in Diamond Head. We're close enough. Yeah. This is the second time we've been live here at his place, and he's going to come over here and talk about everything that's changed with his business since he's the last time we were here. And we're going to bring Donnie Moran from Moran Holland in and probably just go off the rails a little bit. So might not be kid friendly. So I don't know where you're watching this, but we're going to keep it rolling. I didn't realize the race community was that big. We had a lot of people. They're still on here hanging out. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Really, really cool. If it's the first time that you tuned into one of our things, oh, here comes the Moran. Moran, bring that old soul over here with us too. If it's the first time you've tuned into our show, this is the Brownwater Banter podcast, and we're locally based right here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Yeah, waiting on y'all. Mississippi Gulf Coast, and we interview all kind of different people, usually outdoor related stuff, hunting, fishing, politicking. That's right. So if it's something that you're into, give us a follow, smash that button, and check out some of the old interviews that we got. Bring that old soul over here, please. Vincent. Dan, is our volume any better? I noticed you said it was low or getting low. I think that might have just been because we was pulling the mics away. Pick up one or two, don't matter. All right, this is Donald Moran. He's been on the show before. No, I'm gonna use that water, sir. I don't want to muck it up. Yeah, we're live right now. We ain't never cut it off. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, Old Soul bourbon, Mississippi made. We had a significant amount of people watching that right there. Where's Vincent? Just ignore the camera. We don't care. Grab that mic though. They can't hear you. If all sounds good on mine. All right, cool. Vincent, get your ass in here, man. If y'all are still with us, drop in the comments where everybody's from. I'd love to know what the reach was tonight. Like I said, we're based out of Mississippi Gulf Coast, Biloxi area. We're in Diamond Head tonight. Dan, go get you some. It is very good, man. It's legit. I'd love to know where everybody's tuning in from. And all the TikTok people over there, if you can hear us, where the hell are y'all coming from? I think Joey's still tapping on the thing. Ohio, Chuck. Hell yeah, man. Wow. Look at this. Chuck's from Ohio. Taylor's from Fairbanks, Alaska. Damn, dude. What's it like in Fairbanks as far as the racing? Is that a thing? St. Louis, man. Hell, we appreciate it. Daryl, I appreciate you tuning in. Stevens from Jacksonville. Where'd that go? Jacksonville, Florida, St. Louis. So this is a racing thing, obviously. We appreciate y'all jumping on here with us, Indiana. Yeah, we apologize that I guess our community down here isn't as into it as y'all's. So Picayune, Brandon, there we go. I know right where that's at. But in the racing or in the podcast? In the racing. So there was 160 people on here a minute ago watching, which is a lot of people for the live on here. Especially if Joey's on. All right, they had to stomach through his shit. Denham Springs, Chase, I know right where that's at.
We wore the same shirt.
I told you when you walked in.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, we look like self-supporter.
You're gonna have to hold that up on there more and act like you've been in a band before.
I don't usually get to hold the mic.
That's right.
Sorry, it's like this.
Vincent, let's go.
Do you hold it with your pinky up like that?
It depends on how classy I want to be.
Probably pictures of it.
We ain't got time for all that. The people want to see you. They've been waiting all night. We're going to transition from racing, though, into probably just there's some. Oh, here we go. Taylor, thanks for answering the question. Let's see what he said. There's some local tracks, but nothing like down south. Talented drivers down there. Chase being one of the best. Yeah, man, we just met him tonight. I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, I got his number. We're gonna go hang out with him. And
Vincent's going to come on. he's supposed to be walking on here right now. He's the owner of this restaurant that we're in. And if by the way,
it's the old people show now.
yeah, we're gonna pretty much just talk about silly shit and debauchery.
And what vitamins we take.
Brandon.
I'll try to be PC though, right?
Yeah, we got to be PC for sure.
Shut down.
But man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Shreveport, I very much love Louisiana, so that's cool.
We should all take our shirts off like Jason Kelsey.
I saw that. Vincent,
Oh,
let's go. Yeah, we ain't never shut nothing down. Let's go. I need you over here.
that logo.
I ain't got no talent.
That's on my chest.
Superman.
Joe, we had 160 people watching.
On what?
I was trying to turn the thing so you can see
What
it.
y'all had 160 on Facebook?
All these platforms
Dude,
here.
we had 1 million on TikTok.
Gotta get it up there, so,
Let me put mine up there.
We had 1 million on Facebook. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, that's the most we've had
What?
on here.
Anybody left in the comments?
Oh yeah, look, Shreveport. We had somebody from Fairbanks. I asked them where they was all from. Denham
Fairbanks.
Springs,
Where's that? Alaska?
Alaska. Yeah,
Holy
Jacksonville,
cold.
Ohio. We tapped into the racing community tonight. We're gonna have to. We're
Is
gonna
it
have to
moose
do some
season?
more shit. Yeah, we have to do some more racing. Chase Holland's the man.
Yep, that's it.
We got the owner.
I've been trying to
owner,
message you.
creator of Double Barrel Smokers in the corner.
Is he gonna come over here and talk to us?
Yeah.
We only got 4 mics, but he
He's
share
like
something.
Maynard, right?
He won't do it?
You can have my mic. You can have my mic right now.
You got to. You got at some point. You coming on and talk about them damn smokers.
I think it's probably because he's on witness protection right now.
Oh, he can't show his face.
The FBI won't allow it.
Because this is a shameless.
Dan Latimer, I love it. I love it, Dan.
Latimer.
Yeah, Dan's from
Oh
Latimer.
yeah, we from Latimania.
I'm impressed. I ain't gonna lie about that
if,
shit.
If Vincent can operate it, bro, it is.
Latimer.
Top notch. I got first generation too. I don't even have.
All right,
The
pick
new
up
gen.
that.
I've been
damn
over here
microphone.
tapping on his. I got carpal tunnel.
Where's the camera? I need to look at the camera. I'm looking at you.
Boom, boom.
I'm looking at you.
Look at him over there, the side cut. All right, listen. If you're still on the live stream from the racing stuff, we are not going to be talking racing anymore.
We're
But
about
if
to
you,
take a left.
I was gonna say it's gonna be no,
It's a right
it's a right
turn,
turn,
right turn.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
they don't do those on
Too
racing.
many Yeti cups.
But if y'all want to hang out with us and talk shit, this is what we're about to do. So
Yeah.
we appreciate it. Donnie, you're gonna have to kick out a little bit. Vince
Yeah.
got that.
Vince got you covered up with that
There.
bling.
No, you good right there. That's good right there. All right, now look, what are you doing over there with that thing? What are we doing?
We live on TikTok.
All right,
We live on Facebook.
keep it to your mouth.
We
Right
live on TikTok.
there you go. There you go. There you go.
We live.
All
What
right.
about that ice?
Hey, this part of the merch drop, the Salt Pepper Oak merch drop coming this weekend.
We did
Chain with a spinner on it.
Yeah,
we did episode 200 in here.
ice on my neck, give me brain freeze.
Tell me when you're ready to talk, because I feel like I ain't connected.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, I got to be in
There's
and
an
out.
energy exchange here. that I'm
Briskets are
looking for.
being finished right now, so they're in the final
He's locked in.
The
they're in
smoking
final
legend, Taylor.
15 degrees.
That's right. Look at him. The smoking legend.
We got a whole persona now.
I like that. Let's talk. No, last time we was here, episode 200. We don't know what month it was. I'm a shitty producer. Didn't look it up.
No.
Joe, we
None of
don't know
that.
how to operate a computer.
I don't even know what day it is.
These mics are heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little heavy.
Yeah.
What is the Dan? Thank you for tuning in on 200. That was
Yeah.
a good one. We had a blast.
Yeah.
Jensen, what has happened since?
Live.
Okay, a little more specific. I think you have had another child brought into the world since then.
We have. So I guess, yeah, in September.
'Cause
Sloan was born in July.
you were on
Don't-
Baby-
If
Baby
I'm wrong
Watch.
on that, please do not out me, Anna.
Yeah.
Don't change the dough locks wherever you at. I apologize.
I hope you like.
I don't know what
tonight.
day it is, guys. I mean, I had like 2 out. Me and Anthony, we had talks last night at about 2 a.m.
Well, it's
About
funny.
these
You
briskets.
were in the same situation last time. Had been up all night.
Yeah.
It's
I remember.
it's the life of the barbecue man. You know, I got no
It's
I got
not-
no pit operator, so I operate that pit literally to do barbecue 2 days. It never stopped from Thursday till tomorrow.
which
so-
would be Saturday for people that
Yeah.
watch this.
So it starts and it doesn't stop.
And that'll keep you stocked till Sunday, right? Sunday
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah. Well, no, till Saturday. We sell
Oh,
out.
y'all
We
don't.
sell
Y'all,
out
you'll
Saturday.
stay out Saturday.
So I start Thursday. I start Thursday with briskets for Friday, and then Friday briskets for. So these briskets will finish tonight.
Do
or for
you hate
tomorrow.
briskets yet?
No.
Okay.
It's still a joy. Like today,
I don't
like
mean smoking. I mean briskets specifically.
like eating it.
like the smell.
No, just hate them yet.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, good.
The
I'm glad.
brisket is the still the thing that people can't cook so much. So it's still that holy grail of meat, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
But look, even
You damn right. Yeah. You damn right.
How did you know?
Yeah.
even
Are you talking to
today,
me specifically?
even today, the briskets I had today, like I pulled them off at 1:30 last night, and I probably could at least run them another 2 hours. You know, so I had to pull them and finish them quickly. So even when I'm cutting them, I'm like, yeah, they're not. This ain't where it needs to be. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, usually
It's great. You know what I mean?
Brisket and quickly are never in the same.
Well,
track.
this was 16 hours in.
That's
this was
crazy.
a 16-hour cook already.
Yeah.
You know, it started at probably 10, but I was in and out. The smokers that we have, they allow me to not have to be on top of them. So, you know, I had meetings to go to. I got things going on Thursdays. I'm trying to do all the business side of SPO while I'm in Mississippi, because as soon as I shut that door, I'm back to Louisiana. You know, we got a family, like you said. We had Sloan was born this year, and then our 2-year-old Pierce. So, you know, it's back grinding that. And with social media now, we have so much going on outside of just the restaurant. Like the restaurant it takes up my time when I'm here, but when I'm outside of here, I do COGS and cost of goods and orders and make sure all that stuff's ready for the upcoming week. But then it's social media, it's TikTok.
Yeah.
We were talking with your boy about that. Like he's using his social media exposure to now fund the majority, he said, I think, of his racing.
At least half.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so,
sponsors cover the other half.
and
and sponsors come from social media.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, and this is the power. And you and I've had a few discussions at this. Our support is locally inside these four walls. Our brand is being recognized outside of these four walls on TikTok. Right. So, I mean, we've grown rapidly, and we do it through the lives. Even this live right now is over 300 people watching at one point. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we're just sitting here not even talking to it. So that community is growing a following that we can actually benefit from.
That's your iPad? You're watching your phone over there? Is that
Yeah.
what you're
So it's live on my phone, which we're working to upgrade to. It's like everything I can do in my brain to pull out how to produce this show 3 days a week. Like it would just triple what we're doing. So because we're doing everything through my phone, and we're averaging 1 million views a month.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, this one would be small at probably 20 to 30,000 views on a live. So it's like, okay, well, how do we do this? How do we actually make that 3 days, 24 hours? I'm here.
So again, we were talking about that with your buddy Chase with racing. Okay. Without giving away any kind of trade secrets, and we're not asking questions on dollars or anything like that, but like, let's start at the beginning. So you opened up the business now. How long you been in business? For people that they didn't see 200, they don't know, or even you were on the episode before that, both of y'all, but they don't know Salt Pepper Oak. When did you open again? How long you been open?
So it's February 25th of 2023. So we're coming up. We're 4 weeks from a month.
A year.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Next month
4
will
weeks
be a
from
year.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we've had your product. I tell everybody that I can about it. It's phenomenal barbecue. You're crushing it on that shit. The turnout without any of the cameras and out social media was already good. You already had people coming in. You were already selling out.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in the beginning. Yeah. Right. And then you start doing these live streams on TikTok, right? I mean, you've always had that as a part of your game plan, right? So you're merging what you're doing here physically in this physical location with now the digital presence, and you're blending it together in a way that I don't see any other business owners doing that I'm aware of.
Zero.
Locally. It's happening everywhere, just not locally.
So if you look at so what you're saying is correct. When we created Salt Pepper Oak, we created it as a mom and pop restaurant.
Correct.
Right. But with the vision and the understanding of how to grow it into a brand.
Okay.
And our brand did not develop until December, realistically. I took a change in what I thought was necessary to elevate the brand. So hence we come out with a new rollout with a new menu. We had started a live productions and really dove into that. So when we hit our stride as to where we are now, there was a building to do that. And the episode 200 is actually, when I look back, it was one of our first lives trimming briskets. Y'all came in, we just kind of wilding out, and y'all like, oh, that's crazy.
Awesome.
Look how much is going into it. Well, I kind of took and I'm analytically driven, and I don't have a safety net. It's salt, pepper, or nothing, right? So, when you balance a fence, it's easy just to kind of skirt the edges. So I had to do a deep dive into just social media and what it means and where we're at and what it can do for us. And right now, the platform to do this is TikTok.
100%. When you made your whole business plan, business model, and I know we've talked off the air, like you think things through, you got experience, you know how to do cost of good, I can't even use all the acronyms that I know you're running. Did you have the social media as an active? I know you were obviously going to create a Facebook page. Everybody knows that, but to where you're at now, was that I'm going to go there?
Not even close.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, and it just kind of naturally developed. You put one foot in front of the other long enough, and now you're here.
I think
On the social media
Research.
rapidly, and since September, let's say September is ground zero for what we are doing right now with social media.
Okay.
So let's say we go from 1,000 to 50,000 from September to now. So
You said that's what you did do?
yeah, that's where we're
on
at
TikTok.
on TikTok.
Followers.
And that translated into other followers too. So Instagram's grown by, let's just say Instagram grown by 50%. So I can transfer, my website grows, so many thousand views a Saturday, right? So now I can track analytics across the board and see, okay, well, this works. So what I did is I leaned into one or two things, right? We're gonna set a schedule. We're gonna focus on what our biggest growth in followers are, and it's me on stage. It's me serving briskets. It's that whole experience, right? The trimming actually gets a little more engaging, because engagement is the key to TikTok. I truly believe you need to have this one-on-one conversation with lives, with mods, with people helping control the conversation, because that's what they're there for.
That's why I don't think this is really the way to go. We were talking about
No,
this before
it is.
because we're not talking to them.
Yeah.
But this is what you do. So you're ending or you're beginning, you spend the time doing that, right? Because your followers will stay. We only might have 150, but I can probably hold all 150 of those the whole time. And we'll have people listen to this live for 4 hours.
What do we got over there, Joe? Are you monitoring ours?
My phone just went to low battery mode.
Well, it's just, and it's
This
not.
is my help here.
I
You know
get
what I'm
it.
saying?
I get it.
I mean, how do you find good help?
Miriam. I married mine. She's in there
When we
somewhere.
walk in this door, how much equipment did Jerry carry in?
Zero.
How many legs do you have versus how many legs? do I
Zero.
have?
He did carry zero in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
But-
why you don't do jujitsu.
That's right. Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Get a little better at what you was doing.
Joe Broken, he called me.
Joe Broken is fitting.
Isn't that good? He nailed it. I know. I mean, that was good. That was good. It was way better than Gut
Joe
Liddell.
Broken. Yeah,
That was
that'd be
good.
a tag team
Joe
champion. in the
Broken,
world.
Gut Liddell.
So,
All right,
but
so back to you. I know I told everybody, but I warned y'all this
we're
was
gonna
going
get
off the rails. I
so
told y'all.
ideally, yes. So let's say September's ground zero for social media. We figured it out and said, hey, we're going to lean into a few things and see how it works. And it works. So I'm like, well, we lean in even more. And the more, like, Chase and I partnered in the last week to really work on social media together, because what there's a couple videos out there. If we are working in one social media realm, okay, say I come into TikTok world and I say, hey, this is how we're going to do it. Well, I've already made the mistakes, right? Mr. Beast came out and said this, right? I already made the mistakes.
for sure.
So if realistically, if we take accounts that have 15, 100, 2,000 followers, and you take a 25,000 follower and a 50,000 follower, well, we can easily
Merge them.
elevate everybody together if we work as a unit. Social creators aren't doing that because they're too engulfed in what they're doing, right? From a skit, from a standpoint, whatever that is. But if you're going to do it from a business, 3 businesses get together, post videos, like, comment, share, then you're going to get pushed in the algorithm, right? So if we can understand that, then it's like, okay, well, how do you level above, right? So you level above through production. So that's why you're I mean, look at you travel with a great production, right? So production quality levels, video quality levels. And then when you start getting that, then now we get anything from subscribers to people that are true, like diehards. Guy from UK right now, Prime. He's every Saturday. He's in the UK. We have a 10% following in the UK. So out of 50,000, 5 of us followers from the UK.
Really?
Right?
We're doing that on the sound now because
Big barbecue guys in the UK.
There's no barbecue in the UK.
Oh, so they're just looking at it.
That's unbelievable.
This is
true.
This is truly an American thing. I mean, there's barbecue. Like I can name people, but because I'm in it. There's Wilson's Barbecue. That's about the only one. There's a great one in Perth, Australia, which I know is not the UK, guys. Don't ride me on this, but that cat does 1 day a week and he does 80 briskets at one time.
Wow.
I mean, and they sell out. There's pre-orders only. I mean, it is.
So what about? I know you wouldn't, but I'm saying like a guy like you picks up shop and goes over to the UK. Can you get the meat? Can you get the ingredients?
Yeah,
and then you just dominate, or maybe their palate don't like that. I don't know.
No, you dominate. Anywhere we go, we're dominating from here on out. Like that's the business.
With a chain like that, you dominate everywhere.
We like. I tell them all day. We're like Conor McGregor, bro. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
Right.
Like I mean, I can 10 time this with cash. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's already here.
Joe once said that you bought a propane tank for me to turn into a smoker.
Yeah.
Is that
Possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. We broker deals all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We worldwide.
Joe said, have they finished it? I don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah,
Give
that
us some more
1100.
deets.
He's working on now. Find me one, Joe.
Okay,
Yeah, Joe, we need another one.
it's confirmed. Yeah, they working on it, Joe.
I wanted to ask how the holidays went. Didn't you do a lot of turkeys and
Yeah, so we cooked the biggest. So the way holidays works, Thanksgiving is going to be your biggest catering day. Like we smoked 60 turkeys, and that was a test not only on me but the team to actually do it. And then we filled those smokers twice and cooked them. But I figured out how to cook the turkeys. These things work like air fryers.
Joe said he'll make it happen. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right, my boy, I appreciate you. These things work like air fryers. So literally, I can open the valve on it. I can turn that fire up, and I can fry the skin of that turkey. So
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
they're
crispy.
yeah, they're delicious. You know what I mean? Now we have to cool them down. We have to reheat them. We got to package them. So there's a little bit of variable that comes with it. But yeah, I mean, the holidays was great. We've only been going up in all metrics.
Did y'all roll out a lot of barbecue during the holidays, or was it mainly the turkey and the traditional stuff?
So Thanksgiving, yes. So
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, all turkeys, right?
Yeah.
Christmas, more briskets, more stuff of that nature. Not as many turkeys. Like I might only did like 4 turkeys for
I
Christmas.
saw somewhere where steak and barbecue is becoming like the highest Christmas dinner.
Yeah,
because
brisket.
nobody's doing anything. Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah, like prime rib steak, everything's going away from, I guess, like chicken and turkey at Christmas. Everybody's going to steak, prime rib,
Okay,
and
on
stuff
Christmas.
like that.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. We do a prime rib every year, and I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna share your picture of your smoker for people that maybe watching it don't know it. Yeah, they don't know it. But I want to get back to the story you're saying. So hold on, let me click right here.
Yeah.
Claudia's, she's stepping up. She's in baking school right now. So we actually got her going through her entry level baking. She's always been a baker at heart since she was young. So now she's getting educated on it. So we only get better from here.
Well,
The best chocolate chip cookies on the coast.
Dude, they are so much better now too. Like I had one today that was like, I came up with this recipe. I mean, Anna came up with this recipe. Who came up with this recipe? Because it is legit.
Go over there, you better get
Hey,
Well,
Mama Oak, I see you.
Mama
I
Oak's
like
in there.
that. I like that. Hey, people watching, this is one of the smokers. He's got 2 of these.
Is that Lottie Mae? Is that the black one or the?
I can't hold on because
Look at you.
I know the guy who built that. He was
Yep.
right over there.
too fat.
Did he leave?
It's too
That's
fat.
too fat.
It's too
He's
fat.
gone.
Yeah, this is one of the
There
2
he
that
is.
he's got.
Still in here.
But anyway, it's impressive, and we got to get Drew to come over here and talk at some point because,
the mad
dude, I
scientist.
just I get all
There he is.
there he is,
Look at
there he is. I get all in my feels about it, man. It's like I watched, from back in the Falls from Grace days, and then we talked about it last time, full circle all the way around to here, and then you got your brother over there, and now, yeah, we are. but
He built his whole empire from TikTok.
but what I'm saying,
I mean, it started here.
I want to know his story.
Well,
Only man's.
But hey, are y'all are already competing in the smoker game just on double barrel, right?
well, I mean,
That's
honestly,
a whole nother market.
I don't even know if competing is the correct term. What he's done with those smokers has allowed it to really develop bark, smoke. You don't have to man it. So there's a whole level of
Nobody's making those.
Well, no, I mean they're not at that level. They're
Right.
trying. J.L. Orler came out with theirs. You seen that thing?
They already
I
got
just showed
people
that to
trying to
you.
copy y'all.
No.
Okay.
There's no. I mean, look, you can't copy a propane tank with a box on one side. Know what I mean? It is what it is. It's
Well, I don't know. I mean, y'all got to look about I'm not deep
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Maybe y'all look
He-
like I don't know, but
he's actually doing something a little different with this. Probably the 5th and 6th generation. What is this? The 7th, 8th generation of it. So it's developed from Gen 1, which we have, right? So he built those right off the bat, and then it's actually gotten better and better and better, more efficient. The way it's designed, the way it pulls, how it can affect the meat in the first stack. So there's some things that are going on. Yeah, there's some things going on that others aren't doing because there's only like 3 pit builders in America that are the top dogs.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, those 3 are the top ones. And then you got some guys out there making noise, and he's making the most noise on TikTok right now. And that's really, I mean, what do you got? Chicago, New Mexico, where else? You know what I mean? Florida, right? Yeah. So I mean, you're not going to sell a commercial pit to somebody in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, right?
Right. And that's why
So-
TikTok's a perfect platform. Are y'all already having people reach out to y'all for that?
Probably
asking?
shipping them.
Daily.
Yeah.
They'll come get them if the money's right.
Yeah.
daily. What do you get? 1 to 2 calls a day on a pit, probably.
Yeah, it varies.
No, they can't hear you. But won't you come
I
sit
gotta
down?
work briskets anyway.
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna be in and out.
Introduce yourself when
Put
you
some
sit
wood
down.
on the firebox.
Vince is gonna come back in a minute.
Oh,
Tell the people who you are, just so they know.
Andrew.
And ignore the
Come on, look
cameras.
at
You over here with us. Ignore the cameras.
Yeah.
Andrew, I'm Vince's brother. We kind of started
They was
this
born
at
together.
the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
we
that
was
camera over
we
here
was
with us.
also
Over here with us.
born on the same day, but
Oh yeah, I forgot. I always forget that. I always
Yeah.
forget that. I always
yeah,
forget that.
fraternal twins.
Yeah.
So you're the mad
Who's older?
scientist behind
Who's
this,
older?
right?
I'm older,
All right, so I can tell.
way more
You're
mature,
way more
Yeah.
mature than that.
way
motherfucker.
more advanced.
Way
yeah,
more. mature.
How'd you get into the metal fab?
My
business?
dad, I used to work with my dad, and I started out as an automotive mechanic, and that moved into welding. And I kind of was always interested in building anything. When I was a kid, I would take radios apart, VCRs, anything.
Had that mindset.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah. He'd
Mechanical.
He'd
open
break
it up,
and
see
I'd
how it
fix
works.
yeah.
Porn tape
My-
got stuck in it.
That was Vincent's story.
My dad would make he'd make us weed eat, and my brother would grab. I don't know what it is. He's like a gorilla. He'll grab something.
Tear up an anvil with a tomato.
He'll pull the weed eater string out the weed eater, just hold the string, and I'd have to fix it, and then I'd have to weed eat. So
Oh damn!
he
He
figured
did
out
it
real
on
quick.
purpose.
He did it on
still-
purpose. Yeah, he
He'd
did.
break my garbage, my cabinet every time he opens it at the house. He'd break the neighbors' bicycles, break their toilets, break their windows.
They need one in Farmington, Missouri.
Yeah.
There you
What
go.
was
Yeah.
what was the inspiration behind those two big behemoths in the
Well,
backyard?
that's an offset smoker, and if you want to do real barbecue with wood, there's only a few ways to do it, and that's the main way. That's the most popular way. And I copied Moberg, which he is the biggest, baddest out there. He's the number one guy, and he's got about a year wait, and he does a
Yeah.
good job, and it's a magnificent setup he's got. But as I built it, just like he built it, they say what's that? Imitation's the finest flattery.
a form of flattery.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Correct.
So I copied him because I knew they worked.
It worked, yeah.
And once I built it, I realized that, hey man, I don't want to be out here running these things, and we don't
Yes.
want to pay a guy just to watch a fire. Like you literally have to open a door a half inch for 20 degrees, close it a quarter inch to drop it. Like we don't want to pay somebody for that.
Yeah.
So I,
Constantly babysitting.
Well,
Yeah.
I loved it because my experience with barbecue and smoking stuff is. You already laughing? I knew you would. You know what I like? I like a pellet smoker. You know why? I know it ain't the best, but
No,
because
it-
I like to drink beer.
Look, man,
Exactly.
Look,
I own it, dude.
whoever
I don't
invented that
care.
sitting on an island in Oprah right
Yeah,
now.
I
because
don't-
that he got into a spot where there was a need that people want smoked meat, but they do not want to sit out there all night.
No.
It's a lot of work.
Somebody it wouldn't be Oprah to sit on.
Sometimes it's cool. Like when we were camping or whatever, if you're hanging out, you got all
Right.
day. It's awesome to stoke the fire and be out there and hanging out. But other times it ain't. And the pellet grills are perfect for that. But then I come over here and see these monstrosities that y'all built, and then you got the electric dampener, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you just built a steroided out pellet
It's a
smoker
big
that
trigger.
eats oak.
You
It's a
still
big
feel
trigger,
like
yeah.
a real man smoking
Yeah.
meat on
So
it.
that-
Hey,
So these
Not
are the
baking stuff on a pellet grill.
I call them the 1.0. The 2.0,
Like we're getting canceled.
I actually moved the firebox inside the cook chamber. So right now the firebox sticks out. It,
stay up on that mic. I want to make sure everybody hearing this.
it radiates heat all the time. And anytime you walk up to a
Careful what you
smoker,
hold it to.
Don't listen to him.
anytime you walk up to a smoker and you feel heat coming off, that's more wood that you have to put in to cook your meat. So if you feel heat, you're losing efficiency. in
Yeah.
wood.
Okay.
So I took the square part and stuck it underneath the grating. So if you look at my pits now, they don't have an offset that sticks.
Are you
way
on
out.
Facebook?
Mhm.
With Delbert? Okay.
You can pull up. Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Are all your
the
pits
new one. Are the new ones on Facebook? I can pull a picture of. Okay. Go ahead.
all your pits the same size? You make them that big? You make a smaller
Yeah,
version of
I
it?
make a so they're my thousands. I make a 500 and a 250, and they all look identical.
Did you
One
tell him when
another.
we tried to bid on the one at the thing?
Yeah.
You told him about that, dude. They said, what was it? What they start your bid off at?
Like 500.
$500. And I was like, I wasn't trying to buy nothing. And they pointed out, I'm like, wait a second, for that? I was like, huh? And then it got like 1,000 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, keep going. Like, this is a steal. And then finally they're like, wait a minute, we're sorry, we didn't read the reserve on this. It ain't for sale or something like that. I was like,
Right?
damn it.
It's not. It's a little bit too much for your backyard guy, but there are some really serious.
Not if you want to
backyard
show off.
barbecuers.
Not if you want to show off.
You know,
It ain't
just
too
just
much.
like in the fishing industry, they got people that buy combos from Walmart, and then they got people that buy Shimano's, $1,000 rigs.
All right, I see.
The fishing industry, and y'all might not know
I can't
this.
spin this around all the way to you,
But,
but you pulled the box up underneath the smoker. I'm gonna show it to everybody.
He's
and
got fishing lures too.
Oh yeah.
I used
You
to
did
make,
that before.
I used to make handmade swim baits, glide baits. But yeah, I had an Instagram that I ship baits to Texas. Really, is where who were buying it, and these little guys in kayaks would make videos. So if you type in fish hunt lures on YouTube, there's guys in Texas going up the. It's a really clear creek, just catching monsters.
Does the logo
off
have
of
like a deer horn in it? That's popped back. Is it a setup?
no
deer
there's no
horns?
horns in
Okay.
it. It's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but I haven't made them since we moved. But
Yeah.
but I was babysitting my kids. It was at the point where somebody had to be at home with them every day, and I just sit at my desk and I'd carve it out of wood, make the fishing lure out of wood, and once I get it just right, I'd cast it into silicone, and now you have a perfect cast of that mold. Then I would pour a resin in it, and now I have a resin bait that I can duplicate over and over. And they was selling it was $120 for a lure.
Wow.
Yeah, and I could to this day I could pull the molds back out and start selling them again. But
Let me get them molds, bro.
Groundwater Baron.
Hey,
heavy metal charters, man.
before I got out, I was wanting to make a mullet bait. I wanted to take a mullet, freeze it, mold it, and then I would build the joints in it to where it would look like a mullet. You know how they do on top of the water?
Right,
You
right,
see their
yeah.
heads?
You're smoking? Yeah.
Yeah, and because big trout, that's what they want.
Big time. Big time.
That's
Big
right.
time. Big time.
Yeah.
Taylor wants to know how many briskets y'all have smoked at once. I know you know the answer to that, I'm sure, huh?
Yeah, so 1,000 gallon can hold around 25 at one time. Mine can hold more because in the first door of a regular 1,000, you can't necessarily cook briskets in it.
First door, he's meaning the first door past the firebox.
Yes.
The
Right.
door
Yeah.
right next to it.
I'm gonna flash this picture
it's
again.
catching so much heat off.
It's too
firebox,
hot.
You almost lose that.
Yeah,
whole
it's too
square
hot.
footage right
This
there.
this one on your Facebook page, I think it's not 1,000. It's 2 doors. Is that a 500?
Yeah, that's probably 250. Yeah, that's a 250.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all are looking at it.
Smallest one.
That's the smallest one he makes, 250. It's on like a sled, but this is the newer model where you pulled the firebox up under it.
Mhm.
Can you explain that like you were doing? Because now
Yeah,
people
so
can see it.
So you don't lose any heat. All your heat gets generated, stays inside the cook chamber because the fire is inside the
Yeah.
cook chamber.
It ain't offset
It
as
ain't
much anymore.
It's not offset, but the heat's still coming from the same place. And we did a chicken test on it to make sure it didn't get too hot on that door. And we cooked chicken on it for 3 hours on the first door. And if you can cook a piece of chicken or you can cook a brisket without a problem. Just to prove, because I had a guy, he bought 1,000 gallon and I've never done one like that. And he said, man, I need to know if it'll work. So I built the 250 small version to prove to him that it'll work. And he bought the 1,000 version for his restaurant. That's the one in Escataba,
Okay.
Chicken
Okay.
Pig.
Okay.
So the bigger ones are pretty much
You see it?
landlocked. Right?
Oh, yeah, the
They're
1,000
not
you-
going anywhere.
No,
Right?
I mean, you can move it, but
On
you
a trailer.
You can put them on a trailer, but
But that's usually where the 250s come in. I was going to say, right, for the rigs, get out
A
there.
trailer is usually a 500 or a 1,000.
Yeah.
Volume. I mean, a 1,000 is not an
you can put them two out there on the trailer and
Oh,
be
yeah.
all right.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah, they don't weigh about 3,000 a piece.
Okay.
And, a trailer's rated for 7,500.
Okay. The one at that auction we were talking about, that was
on a skid.
it was, but that was a 500. Yeah, and it looked
Probably that 500.
it looked great. Well, that's a 250. He said we were just
Yeah.
showing.
If you're selling it for a profit, if you're trying to make money, I wouldn't go no smaller than a 500. It's just based off sheer volume.
Right.
You
Right.
can't get enough meat
Yeah.
to
Right.
make
Well,
a profit.
and the way he's building that new 500, you actually gain some square inches of cooking space.
Right.
Because of the pit being underneath, you don't lose the
Right.
first rack.
Well, yeah, because it's not so hot right there that you'll burn. You'll
Yeah.
cook stuff too fast right there.
Yeah. The trick is you got to let the heat go to the top of the tank. If you put a deflector and it deflects it out to your meat, it's hitting the meat too hard. And people put blocking logs and they back
That's
them
what
up.
y'all was doing, huh? The
Yeah,
blocking
what we
logs. Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Because I designed it from Moberg, and that's exactly how he did it.
So,
But if you take that deflector out the way, let the heat hit the top, and then come down from the top, you gain that much more room.
Yeah.
And, it's the game's different now. It's not just like he said, like Moberg is their original design. You got reverse flow where they put a plate in it, so it has to go all the way down and all the way back around up. You'll see the stack is on the same side as the firebox.
Yeah.
And it's just some people different
Preference.
Ford Chevy, you know, some
Yeah.
whatever. But the way these new ones are, he's making, like, we used one of them at the Blitzing on the Bayou, and that was a 500, the silver bullet. So he's got different features on these things, like you know, all your doors are gonna have hydraulic shocks on them, so you know,
So it ain't gonna slam when you close it.
down
Yeah.
here,
Right.
You're not having to pick up 100 pounds and hope you get it locked back so it don't fall on your head. You know, you got it. You know, every time you lift it up, you got help. Like, so that opens the doors for, you know, older guys.
Yeah.
You know, people that don't want to pick up 100 pounds over
Yeah.
every time they check.
The idea is still the same, but it's got
Right.
bells and
It's
whistles.
just like
It's got
anything
bells
else.
and
It's
whistles.
just like anything else. You know, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yep.
So you sitting there and you using these big pits out here, and you constantly saying, you know, and everybody does it. It don't matter what you're fooling with. It could be anything. You sitting there and saying, "Oh,
How can I make this better?
Damn, if I only had this on it, it'd be so much easier to do this." And like he said, when they first started out, they was using the door. They had to babysit fires. You know, you couldn't just leave anybody out there,
Right.
manning your you know, your life. You know, your lifeblood is the meat that's on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's some money. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And everything's cooking at
You-
different times.
You ruined 28 briskets. Somebody's gonna be
Somebody
mad.
lost a dollar.
you
some dollars.
ruin the next day at the restaurant. Like
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
the pork and the brisket on at the same time, and the pork belly. You mess it up and let it get out of hand or get away from you.
It's what,
You might as well shut the door.
$5,000-$10,000 worth of meat going down the drain?
The weekend shot.
Yeah.
You know, and you looking at it like from Jared's perspective is like convenience. It's like, hey man, can I start a fire? Can I leave that fire if I got to get caught inside? If I got to go?
Yeah, I got shit to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to
Sit on the couch.
Sit on the couch, take a nap. Shit, I might have to take a nap.
Yeah.
Some people smoke meat because that's what they do, and you know that's what they're invested in that whole process, like boiling crawfish. Or
Yeah.
You know, you got a little process, and that's what they like about it. Whereas, you know, like you got some people, it's like, okay, well, I just love the taste of this barbecue. I want to smoke meat, but I don't want to, you know, have to necessarily go through all the steps that Vincent and them
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's like he kind of harnessed the best of both worlds, whereas, you know, you can take an offset smoker and burn real wood in it, and you know,
And go sit on the couch.
and go. Yeah, I mean, technically,
Well, y'all
Yeah.
are still monitoring, but you're right. It's this that's close.
It cuts down on your time that you have to.
You don't have somebody babysitting it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So-
you don't have to watch the temperature. You just got to keep it full of wood.
And I mean,
Right.
And
Set
then
the
Vincent,
temperature.
you know, when Vincent and Andrew come up with that solution for Vincent, you know, it was because, hey, I need to be able to walk away from this pit and go work on sides or see where my dessert is and stuff like that. I don't want to be married to this pit all day.
Yeah.
long. And two, you know, trying to keep your overhead low as a starting out business.
Yep.
You know, I don't want to
Personnel,
Yeah, another employee.
doing all this other stuff. So with that came that automated dampers on this thing.
Were you the first one to do that, or was somebody else? I mean, is that
So they got a cabinet smoker. They all have thermostats on them. They're big. They're not built out of propane tanks. There's one other guy that's done it. It's called
what's
a
you say a cabinet?
cabinet smoker. Yeah.
Cabinet.
So when you barbecue, you can either do it on an offset
Like an upright file.
or you can do it on a cabinet smoker. They're just big square smokers.
It looked like a little refrigerator.
Yeah.
They
Well,
have
I've also
smokes
seen people
coming from
take.
the bottom going
I've
up
also
there.
seen people take the propane tanks like y'all got. It's just standing them
Go
up.
straight up.
Yeah. But it's
Is that the same
They
situation?
do,
as a
they do
cabinet
it with
smoker?
file cabinets. They do it with all kinds
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah.
But no, I'm talking about like a restaurant venue. When they would smoke barbecue, it's either offset or a cabinet smoker. A cabinet smoker runs off thermostat just like that. It's just nobody put one on an offset. Like it was,
Okay.
They had one guy did it. It was called the Mandalorian, and
I like it.
Yeah.
it was neat. And,
Yeah.
Everybody, let me know in the comments. Our audio is still good. Everybody can still hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these dynamic mics, man. Yeah, you got to keep it right on you.
What is what's your turnaround on one of those? Say I wanted to order one,
I can do one in about 3 weeks.
and
So
that's
I'm about
That's pretty quick for what you're building. Seems to me like.
yeah, and I'm getting quicker at it. You know, the more you do something, you can start duplicating. I'm at the point now where I'm not really creating nothing, and that's what
Yeah.
takes the time. Like
Yep.
I spent one day
Yep.
last week trying to redesign a shelf, and I got to a point where I'm like, you know what, it's time to cut my losses, just do exactly what I know, and
Yep.
and I don't need to reinvent the wheel on this one.
Right.
And it made me think, does Elon Musk run into these same problems? Like,
Come
like, there's
on,
a
you
point
know
where
he
you got to
does.
stop. and that's the thing about thinkers. There's a point where you have to stop trying to do something.
Say, can't get any better. Just leave it like
Just
it is.
leave it alone. And I have a hard time with that.
What I already know the answer to this, I'm sure, but like, what's your favorite? You like the creative process of it, or like once the figuring it out part is done, and now we're just kind of mass producing the Model T?
Yeah,
is that not fun anymore?
I like creating it, but I like getting it refined down to where it's easy and it's repeatable, and it's within the next couple of smokers, I'm actually get a CNC machine. That way I can lay it out in the program and cut it out of a sheet of metal, and I don't have to put a ruler and a chalk and draw it out every time. Right,
Just rock and roll.
Right. Yeah. Just throw the sheet up there and it cuts it out. I'm not there yet, but I will be. And that's the plan.
Can you customize these in any way? Can you pick the color? Can you pick all that stuff?
Color's a funny thing. They come a color when they get painted, as you know, they're retired units, so they're all rusted, but they're usually gray. Some of them are white. You can sandblast them, paint them, and then do the work to them, and it looks like kind of like a rat rod.
Yeah.
You don't really.
Because of the heat, right?
Well, it's the heat.
Time,
you
right?
make the grind marks. They really look neat. I haven't done it that way yet, but there's plenty of guys doing it just like that. But yeah, you can paint them with automotive paint. They will burn on one spot that gets too hot. But you can paint them.
Yeah, you want to look that rustic look though, that seasoned.
I clear them.
Yeah,
I put an automotive clear on them when I'm done with them.
Do they cook better after their season, like a cast iron skillet? Once you get in there and smoked out, does it cook any better?
I haven't.
Yeah,
you get grease on them so they don't rust. But as far as making the meat taste any different, I haven't ever noticed. You know, I've cooked on brand new ones and they taste the same to me.
When you do that burn, it's like cleaning an oven, right? You burn all the soot and all the rest of the stuff out. Yeah,
you get it hot.
Yeah.
Get it hot and spray it down with oil.
What about for you with doing this? Was how did this start? Did Vincent say he wanted to do the restaurant first?
Oh man, how it started, it was a bad deal how it started.
Let's get into it, baby.
It was rough, man.
Hey, you got any ice in this joint? God dog it.
Only ice is around his neck.
That's right.
Yeah. It's gold. It ain't ice.
I got.
Gold. We got to get a fifth mic. That's what's killing us right now. All right, go ahead, Joe. How we got started? Did you mean to start a making production company like that, or no?
No, it all kind of happened at one time. I used to work at a refinery as an operator.
Yep.
And one night I had a seizure at work. Never had a seizure in my life before. Never had any problem. And went to the hospital. They told me I had a tumor. Got scanned. Told me I had a tumor, brain tumor. And
that's not fun.
It's first I heard of it. So I had to stop working, and I got my operation done. They pulled it out. Everything went fine. It wasn't cancerous, thank God. So no problems with that. And then I was faced with a decision to go back to shift work, which is operators. It's all
the
night.
grind. Yeah.
And the doctor told me, said, you're more susceptible to seizures now. I advise you not to work all night. Stay up all night. So I talked to my work. I said, hey, look, they don't want me working all night. Let's figure something out. And
they were not receptive to that.
It fell through with them. And I really didn't want to go back to work. Then my brother approached me and said, hey, I want to do barbecue. I don't want to work for nobody. Let's build these and start the restaurants. I said, all right, yeah, man, I can build them. That's not a problem at all. Just give me a picture. So he sent me a few pictures, and we got the tank shipped to us and started with it. And we ain't checked up since.
I love it.
Yeah, I was
two weeks post-op. You was doing that?
I was tightening my welding helmet up, worrying about staples. I had 30 something staples in.
Really?
But I talked to the doctor. He just said don't tighten it up too tight.
Yeah,
because I still had the plate and the piece of skull in it.
He said your brain wasn't anywhere close to that tumor, huh?
No, it's all right. But I haven't had any problems since, man. And he's been running the restaurant, and I've been at my shop building smokers.
That's awesome.
So that again, I was talking like with Vincent about, the social media was a part of the plan, but not the plan, but it's becoming the plan.
Yeah,
what was it? Did you say, hey, I'm going to build you two, you get the restaurant going, and then I'm just going to build a bunch of these, or did it just happen?
No, I built them for Vincent. And then he's like, hey man, you can sell these.
That's what I'm getting at.
And I'm like, nah, ain't nobody gonna pay, $12,000 for these, and
Shit.
I wasn't in the market. I don't even like the barbecue. I like it now, but before
Can't stand
I like
brisket.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I
I
didn't even
cook.
like the shit.
I got a Kamado and I'd cook on the back porch like everybody.
You like me? You like I'm
Yeah,
just
but I
out here
wasn't-
just messing
I
around.
wasn't great at it, I had other things to do.
You said you don't have no ice in here for real?
He's working.
Used to drink beer
Yeah.
exactly.
or other stuff.
You drink it hot, you want it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's it.
I'm gonna earn it. And then so that
This
na-
man is that classy.
no, I don't give a damn. I'll drink it
Yeah.
out the bottle. So that just naturally happened
What?
organically. You started to like.
Universe.
Did
Oh, yeah, yeah.
somebody reach out to Salt Pepper Oak or Vincent and say, hey,
Yeah.
where did that come from? I want one too.
The universe.
TikTok.
Yeah, so I started
wanted to buy
TikTok
one.
at the same time he did, and I had one go viral, and then from that I actually had a nurse that was watching TikTok at work, showed it to her boss, which is a doctor, and the doctor said, "Yeah, I'll take one of them," but he didn't have TikTok, so somehow they got my number. He called me and he's like, "Hey man, can you build me one?" I'm like, "Yeah, what do you want?" He goes, "I just want the one in that video I seen." I said, "What video was it?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't have TikTok."
You're like, well,
So,
come on, guy. Help me out here, bro. Help me out here.
So I'm actually
You
working.
should have said, you mean the $50,000 model?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So TikTok really helped me out a lot, and I've noticed that TikTok's a little bit more freer. Like you don't if your video's good, it'll go.
Correct.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they
yeah.
call it intent based versus the algorithms that everything else uses. So
Right.
if people, only TikTok cares about is that other people are watching and commenting.
right,
and
Right,
saying online.
and you can tell.
Yeah, and I think a lot of like the YouTubes and all that have changed, rewritten their algorithms for that because of that.
Plus, there's a lot of 40-year-old men like the saying, either World War II or barbecue.
Dude,
That's
yeah.
a true thing.
I want a shirt
Yeah.
with that, dude. I
It's-
will wear
it's-
the shit out of that shirt.
There's
Sound like the
diehard,
SPO new shirt. World War II or barbecue.
No,
diehard
all right.
40-year-old men out there.
Okay. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
you're too fancy for that.
Yeah, that was that gold chain.
Yeah. What? But was you hesitant on the social media side of it, like to step out there and do the videos, and then also filming the shit? You know what I
No,
mean?
because
Like,
look, it's all I do is talk shit. So that come naturally to TikTok. It doesn't transfer to Facebook well,
right?
but TikTok, you're just making fun of people or making fun of anything.
Barroom talk, like talking,
Yeah.
hanging out like this. Yeah.
Because the guys are watching are guys at work on their lunch break or up in the tower somewhere. So,
Yeah.
and they relate to what you're
Blue
describing
collar.
to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many
Exactly.
have you sold so far? Built and sold.
Now, big ones, I've probably sold 4 really big ones, 4 small ones. I got a small one I'm doing now and a really big one I'm doing now. So probably a dozen.
When you say a really
Really?
big one, is that bigger than 1,000?
It's 4 foot longer than them out there.
Holy
Damn.
moly.
Yeah, and they're hard to get their hands on. I call them
That's Joe. Joe said go get us one.
I call them the megalodon because they're 4 foot longer. I think his doors are 26 inches and these doors are 40 inches.
These are restaurants buying these. Who it ain't a person.
This is a doctor buying this one.
Just
but yeah,
flexing.
What they don't
They're
they don't,
flexing.
they don't pull in on
They're
a regular
flexing.
truck and say throw it in the back. I mean, how do you move
yeah.
these things?
I built 2. I
Really?
built 2
That's fine.
cranes
Hey,
to pick them up.
sell them.
They're like
I got winches on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but they
They
get
make
it out of
flatbed
state, you'd have to
trailers.
get a flatbed
Yeah,
or
they
Oh
can
yeah,
work
they
it.
put it on
I'm
freight.
putting this
Yeah.
one on a trailer for him.
Yeah.
Some closet smokers, man. They just
Yeah, that's them 40-year-old men sitting around.
It's like
No,
having-
it's a.
I got a
these
guy.
smokers are like having a Corvette. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell
It's
him
like-
that
it's like
sometimes.
having
Like,
a damn-
look,
it's like having a damn Freeman. You know,
Yes.
you say, hey,
I got it because
hey,
I got it.
hey,
You can't have it,
I
mother
got a-
trucker.
I got a double barrel.
That's right. And,
Hey,
that, and that's, the, that's,
Y'all
how,
want to see my grill?
that's how you position
I got a guy
yourself.
in
What you cooking on?
a guy in Chicago called me last week. He goes, "Hey man, I'm buying a 250 from you, but I got to sell my grills to my friends, and then I'm gonna sneak your grill in because if I show them your grill,
They're gonna buy.
they're going to buy it before I
And
do.
they won't buy my
Yeah,
grill.
it's all right, man. Just
I like
let
that.
me know.
I like that.
I said, send me the check and I'll get to work.
I got this obsolete smoker. I'm gonna take this.
Where people watching right now, where if they want to put an order in,
Just
where's all you?
email me, and I like to talk it over the phone, make sure that what I got is what they're interested in, because you can only get so far with looking at pictures and looking at TikTok and Facebook.
Do you have a website though, or
Yeah. Yep, Double Barrel Metalworks.
We're gonna make a promo
.com.
video.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a promo video. It's gonna be like a it's a cross promotion between double barrel smokers and brown water.
Yeah,
burn. We're gonna
hell
have
yeah.
Jared smoke a brisket.
True, I'll burn
Yeah.
the shit out of
It'll
it.
be
I'll
burned
burn the shit
On
out
a
of it.
double barrel smoker. and
Burn the shit out of it.
promise
It ain't
you,
nothing
it's
to
gonna
it.
come out great. And if Jared
If
could
Jared can do it, anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah,
What,
you just
uh,
leave it alone.
Where no, seriously though, people that's watching, where do they go to get to you the easiest and the quickest? Are you most active on the Facebook stuff or TikTok? Send a message.
Yeah, if you send me a message on Facebook, I'll get it. If you send me a message on TikTok, I get it. And I
Okay.
got a website, doublebarrelmetalworks.com.
Okay.
I think brown water needs a 250 with a brown water.
Yeah.
burner.
I ain't
Absolutely.
gonna argue with that
But
at
the
all.
only bad thing is
Put it
we
on
could
a
never
trailer.
fill it up.
Well, and that is kind of the problem for us. Like,
we need 100.
you-
Can you make
two-
a
hey,
100?
on a two-
Can you make a 100?
you cut a 250 in half.
Can you give half?
Y'all
Yeah.
got the Bay Rat Bash coming up. You get 250 out there and you smoke briskets on it, and you got
Talk to me about the 250. That's a good point, Joe. You know, if I'm just a regular kind of backyard guy and I want some of your product, can a 250 is it 250 overkill? Can I do?
No, a 250. I have a guy in Pascagoula bought a 250, and it's just right for him. He's not moving it anywhere. It's on skids, sits on his back porch, but it can do,
What's the
five,
what's the
six
le-
briskets on a 250.
what's the least amount you could probably cook in it? You know what I mean? Like, it ain't
You-
worth firing up unless you
Look,
cook.
if you go to my TikTok, I'm cooking one hot dog on a 1150 gallon tank.
That is the
Like,
video.
I said, look, man,
Nice.
you ever see them guys driving them F-250s pulling them flatboats? That's what I feel like, right?
Oh, dude,
And I
you
feel
really
it.
you really smoked one hot dog?
Yeah, it was
That's
lunchtime.
fucking awesome.
It was lunchtime. I had to heat it up
And
to yeah, I ate it
Did
on
it taste
piece of white
good?
bread
Did
with
it taste
mayonnaise,
good?
like poor folk.
Delicious.
I said, if you ain't,
P-Town,
if you
that's
ain't,
the P-Town hot dog, right?
You got $10,000 smoker and $1 bread.
it's on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Pull it up. It's
Yeah,
the
that's
last
awesome.
video I made.
That's awesome.
Look, Vince back on there. Look,
Yeah,
He's
my
done.
boy over there, he's working hard.
dude,
Uh,
he got that railroad chain on his neck.
What have you learned outside of
Pull you out of a ball with the-
outside of fabrication and all that? Like what's been the coolest process of it? Working with your brother and doing something for yourself and all that kind of
Yeah,
jazz?
man.
What,
You
building your own brand.
you know
Yeah,
you
got to keep Slim wrangled in though.
somebody got to be a handyman, but you spend enough years figuring other guys' problems out.
Yeah.
You eventually understand that you could be figuring them same problems out for yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
Right.
some guys make it to that point, some guys don't. Some guys don't want to be at that point. Some guys just want to
For sure.
clock in,
For sure.
collect their check on Friday,
Go
and
home.
go
Go
home.
home.
There's a lot to be said about that. If
Right,
that's your
and
jam,
there's no disrespect in that.
absolutely not.
But when you get to the point where you're actually training bosses over and over and managers over and over, you got to make a move because it starts to, at least in my case, it starts to go downhill.
Yeah. Eats at you.
It really does eat at you.
is the TikTok and social media? Is that where you're going to focus now to get the name out and
Yeah,
start selling these things?
Half the pits I've sold are sold from TikTok.
Is the goal? What's the goal? Is it to be? What was the guy you
Moberg,
Moberg? How do you become that?
you got to hire people to become that position. I would like to be, 6 to 9 months backed up, and I would be happy. And when I get there, I may say, "Oh, I just hire 2 people to weld and I'll fit," and then that builds into, "I'll just get a fitter and a welder, and I'll
Sit on the
run
couch.
the CNC." I can't sit on the couch.
No,
man. I don't know. My wife's like, I guess I'll take a nap. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
I'll go
Can't
pick up
do it.
pine cones.
Yeah, I'll go, pull crawfish out of a mud hole or something. But no, that is what I want to be, about 9 to 10 months behind.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. As long as I, keep paying the bills like this,
yeah.
I'm gonna do it. My wife works; she's a nurse, so I'm not solely dependent on toting the family. A lot of guys out there, they don't get that chance.
Yeah.
They're stuck in a job paying bills till they die. And I see them. I used to see them every day, and it's rough. It's like the silent majority or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get stuck in a rut.
100%.
Yeah, they're at the racetrack, at the gas station buying community coffee every morning, and,
Yep.
and the same.
And there's
thing.
honor in that. I don't know.
There
You're not
is a
saying
lot
that
of
there
honor.
ain't. I know, but
There
there is. Where's the fabrication taking place now? Is this still at your house? Is this?
Yeah, I built a big garage when we moved up here, so I got a 50 by 70 shop that I built, knowing that I wanted to build something in it and sell, not knowing that I was going to catch a tumor and end up doing barbecue. But
Damn.
I figured I was
Funny
gonna
how
do
life
something.
Worked out
works,
for the
don't it?
best, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It could have went way worse.
Yeah,
There ain't no doubt. There ain't no
Could've
doubt
went
about
way
that.
worse.
There ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah, when they told me I had a tumor, I had about 5 days in between knowing I had a tumor to figuring out, is it a deadly tumor or is it a mundane one or a non-cancerous. I didn't know for 5 days, and I don't know.
Those
if
are
y'all-
fun.
I bet
huh?
that was the longest
How
5
fun was
days of
that?
your
I
life.
don't know if y'all have ever done that, but
Yeah, no, I
you
won't
think
do
about
that.
when you think about dying for 5 days,
That ain't
it,
cool.
It makes you look at life different.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily get scared of dying. You get scared of leaving
Yeah.
when you start thinking about your kids.
All the obligations, all the things you
Family.
need to
Who's gonna be
do.
at the
Who's
bus
gonna-
stop with
correct.
your
Yeah,
kids?
who's gonna raise your
Correct.
kids?
Who's gonna walk your little girl down the aisle? You think about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
that
it
was a
changes
miserable
your
5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they told me, yeah, we got an appointment for you. Come talk to this lady, neurologist. And she called me. She's like, hey, I'm not going to be there today. I said, I'm coming, and somebody's going to talk to me about this tumor. I'm going to shut the
I can't
hospital
wait
down.
another day. I'll weld
I
the
said,
door shut.
I'm on the way.
Yeah.
I'll burn it down. Somebody's going to
Yeah.
talk to me.
Somebody gonna tell me what's going
weld the
on.
door shut.
And she said, oh, it's okay. You just got a such and such, a meningioma tumor. She says it's normally not a problem.
We're just gonna cut your head open
Yeah,
and
we're just
pull
gonna
it
crack
out.
your skull open and rip it out of your brain, and
Yeah.
then
But you'll be good.
sew it back shut, and you'll be
Oh.
fine.
But yeah, it definitely changed how you look at things.
No.
Well, you made a good positive thing out of a bad situation. It sounds to me like, and
Yeah.
I'm down with that. But I dropped your link to the Double Barrel Smoker Facebook page in the comments below. Anybody that's listening, go check it out. What's on the horizon for you? Just
Keep
to hell with your
grinding.
brother. What's on the horizon for you?
Every time
Like
I
you
come
said,
up here, I got something I got to fix. But so I try.
without, well,
I try
not
to stay away.
fixing his shit.
Uh,
Keep banging away
yeah,
at it.
I got to keep working in my shop. I got to make the process a little easier, a little less hands
streamline.
on.
You mean?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little more efficient. And it's getting there. And I don't have no problem walking out there every day. I get to put the kids on the bus. I get to take them off
Feel
the
good?
bus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel great.
Get to drink coffee at your own house.
Yeah, I can drink my own
racetrack.
coffee instead of
racetrack coffee.
that
Yeah.
community coffee.
what are them Tostino things they sell at the racetrack? Man, I lived off them things for years. I don't even know the name of
The
them.
Lancashire
Yeah.
rib sandwich.
But look, there's still plenty of guys out there doing it every morning. Shut down work. I mean, it's
Yes.
them refineries will literally kill you
Yeah.
Tornado.
and step over you on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a grind. It's a business. It's a machine.
It is a machine, and you're just a cog in it.
Yeah.
Vince is back there.
Yeah,
slanging
we're
me.
laughing because Vince is back there on TikTok Live. Just
We got his laugh.
was he
He done-
born for that or was he not born for that?
Yeah, he's been looking for that out.
Oh, they
for a
can see
long
the
time.
okay. They can see the little iPad right there on the live, kind of a little glare of it. But
Yeah.
If we had like we've got some video, but if we had like 100% documentation like they have right
Sure,
now,
flash it to 'em.
20 years ago.
oh, it'd be bad for us.
Nah, bro. Vincent, he was a lead. he was a singer in my band, bro.
I remember that.
Damage good.
Tell me about that at
He-
least.
he's always been the
He
center
had-
of
he
attention.
could- he
man.
had-
Oh yeah,
You'll
he,
find it.
He is not shy.
Now.
He does not
No.
have perfect pitch, I can tell you.
I know one thing. He ain't got a perfect iPad either. This thing came from like
Only-
1963.
only key that
Got
man
that when he
was
graduated
out
high
Yeah.
his car with.
Yeah.
And look, he's having to
call him
tone
the butcher.
down.
We called him the butcher, bro. He could butcher some songs.
Morian, what about y'all? What about y'all over at Morian Holland? Are y'all gonna y'all embracing the social media at all or no?
We ain't in the social media.
Why not?
Because we're so damn busy, man. We can't get in. the social
You gotta hire
media.
somebody.
Pay dirt.
I mean,
Yeah.
Pay dirt.
Oh no.
You
Well,
know,
Dirt pays.
no, I
we don't
I
do
thought
a
you
lot
said
of-
what's his name? Trebo, the guy that was wearing our shit on TikTok, the construction guy.
Oh yeah.
What was his
yeah.
name?
He's
Trey-
from Nebraska. wasn't
Yeah,
he?
some random guy. He's just like in your field, and this dude was crushing views,
yeah.
just
Well-
telling the basic shit that you
And he was
already
wearing a
know.
brown water hat
Yeah.
in Nebraska. I was like,
Yeah.
look at this
Look,
dude.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of guys looking for content like what Donnie does.
100%, and you wouldn't think
we
it.
don't want to give away trade secrets.
No.
Tell people we don't want to teach. If you work for us, we'll teach you.
You
Well,
put dirt in the truck and you empty the truck. out.
Here's a guy that I followed on social media that talks about this, and he knows all the big secrets when it comes to branding and all this shit. He says, I take my best secrets, the top secret shit that I know, I put it out online because it does two things. Number one, it brings me more attention and followers, like for what you're talking about. It gets my name out there more. So like for you, Morian Holland would be at the forefront of those videos. And he goes to number two, the people that you're worried about is going to steal your ideas, they're too lazy to execute them anyway.
Yeah,
It ain't going to happen.
and there's look. I mean, what we do is probably interesting to some people that
Pull
don't
in a little
do
bit.
it.
We can't. Nobody can see you right now.
I assume.
There we go. There we go. Now we got. There we go. There we
All
go.
right, so a lot of the reason that we don't or haven't done social media stuff is one, we do public contract work. So I mean, it really don't help us get business. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not like an advertising thing like most people do.
Because you got to bid on it and get
Right. We don't do a whole lot of private jobs, which is like everyday guy like say y'all want.
Yeah, I need a driveway. Yeah.
We don't do a lot of that work. If we do, it's more word of mouth. Hey, somebody told me to call you and see if you come do this driveway for me. But so we get so busy on the government, on the public bid work and the contract side that we don't really have enough time, to devote to doing private work.
So you're saying your plate is as full as you can
Pretty
handle
much,
and eat
without
right now,
spreading yourself too thin,
Right.
robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's just
and degrading your quality of work.
right. Well, and not even that, but just like any of these contracts we get on have a timeline. So we have to finish this project
Right.
in X amount of days, or they assess liquidated damages against
Right.
Yeah.
us. So
And with the weather raining all the time, you got to have all hands on deck.
right.
Yeah.
So we used to not be, and we learned our lessons, and we just from trials and tribulations going through it and doing all that stuff, we know where our sweet spot is and where we need to be at as far as workload, and we try to keep it in that area. Now sometimes it's feast and sometimes it's famine, and you gotta deal with that. But we typically I always hate to turn away work, but at the same time I don't want to do something that promotes myself to where it's like I can't keep up.
Yeah.
And it may happen one day to where it's
Well,
my world is a public, it would turn into that world where you have to advertise and have to promote yourself. Pretty much if we did a social media or like live stream, TikTok, stuff like that, it would be, hey, this is, what we're doing right now, kind of educational.
Yeah.
Informational.
Well,
Yeah.
that goes back to like saying that you're happy where you're at. Like in other words,
but I don't know of anybody right now, and it would be cool like to have like a endorsement. Like I know on the music side, like, hey, I play Gibson guitars or whatever, they'll send me some guitars. Well, hey, Caterpillar.
well, that's honestly,
We need some doses, bro. We need some doses.
honestly, that's what I was gonna say. You I see what you're saying, but there's another dimension to that.
Right.
Meaning you're not looking for extra jobs. What you're looking for now is a Caterpillar sponsorship. Yeah, or merchandise. Not that somebody might buy.
Well, yeah,
They could buy more in Holland gear.
I assume we can promote anything.
But like you said,
we wear area boots.
Correct. There you go. There you go.
Whatever. But I guess
Send us some stuff,
we'll be
man.
quiet about this right now because we may need it. We may be on the verge of.
We might have thought of something here, huh? Yeah.
Well, look, there.
We're gonna cut this part.
Donnie's like, I'm reassessing what I was saying.
There's plenty of men our age sitting at home not wanting to watch The Masked Singer on Channel 8 at night.
I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know how regular cable even exists, and I also don't know. And I meant to Google this.
I don't have regular cable.
I don't-
I don't know how. I don't know how a movie. How did the movie industry? How is that? They ain't put nothing out. If I owned a movie theater right now, which I know most of them are owned by these massive corporations,
It'd be one of
they
like a Triple X movie theater.
Yeah.
no. But how are they making money?
they gamble on
Popcorn.
Everything is on,
Popcorn.
everything is in here right now.
Yeah.
But look,
and it's not leaving.
you're
Like
right.
It's never going
Like
back.
YouTube's not going away.
Cook popcorn like the movie theater can cook popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Like
$25. You
like-
get all the popcorn
like-
you want.
Spray liquid
the only
butter
way-
on it.
The only way I'm cooking barbecue like salt, pepper, oak is if I buy a double barrel smoker and cook it on that.
That's a
Do y'all
commercial man
remember-
right there.
Saturday
I'm gonna
mornings.
come here before I go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I get it, and the experience and all that. I
well,
get it. I get it. But
somebody was talking about this the other day with all the streaming opportunities you have. Like they're set like any TV you buy right now is a smart TV.
for sure,
So like all the opportunities you got to stream, like, hey, I'm gonna watch Oppenheimer. Do I want to go to the movies and sit there for 3 hours, or do
I'm gonna watch it on my couch.
yeah, I'll give you two examples, and I want to know what you were
or
talking
do
about.
I want to pay $5.99 for it to watch it on my couch?
There's two things.
or $50 to go to the movie.
Yeah.
The movie specifically is you want that big, massive screen, and you
Yeah,
want
the
that big sound.
quality.
Now, a lot of people are building those in their homes nowadays. But I heard a quote
Well,
about
the
a.
rich people, not me.
You could do it. I heard a quote the other day that somebody
Got a
said.
manual fireplace here.
Who told me this? somebody, I watched this on a video. Somebody said that their kid said that they was like, Daddy, the only reason we go to restaurants is to eat with strangers.
Oh yeah.
And if you think of, I've never heard that before.
I've heard that.
And if you think about it, it's like kind of makes sense. Like you could cook it at your house, you could DoorDash it, kinda, like, but you really kind of do want to go out to eat because you want to sit in a social environment, even though I'm not talking to that guy over there or girl.
Right.
You want to be in a social environment.
Yeah. I don't want to talk none of them.
I know, but think about
plates.
it. You could get that same food and
Karen's
go
wife is like right now. She's like, that ain't why we go out to eat.
Yeah, stupid.
no, you could do takeout. Why don't you do takeout?
Well, listen, this is my theory. If I can't cook it, or if I'm not good at cooking it, that's what I go out to eat. So
I like that.
Hey, Indian food.
But you do enjoy
sushi.
cooking though, right?
Like, I love.
He
cooking.
loves cooking.
I love cooking too.
But there's a certain. I have a wheelhouse, so I mean, it's like
Right.
you know. What I'm
I
saying?
know what I can do, and I
Like-
know what I
like-
can do.
I mean, we
I can hit it.
Freddie Mercury over here.
yeah.
We
I can hit a fastball in. I can hit a fastball away. You throw me a curveball, I'm out.
I'm out.
That's it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I can't. I mean, I used to cook really good pizzas, but I don't have the equipment to do it now. So, like, I'm gonna go get some pizza somewhere. I'm gonna get some Chinese food. Indian sushi, stuff like that. I can't cook. I can cook a steak.
Yeah.
Chicken.
I can fry some chicken. I can fry some pork chops. I can cook it. I can do a bunch of that.
So I'm not gonna probably go to a steakhouse and because I'm gonna be super critical of it, and it's I'm gonna end up at the end of the night and say, hey, we could have went to the butcher.
Should've stayed home.
Goddamn big ass ribeye and cooked it ourselves and come out just as good. Now there is places that I will go that's like, hey, I can't cook it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan River Steamer. I can't do what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go there.
Need to go to Dewey Doo Bugs.
Yeah.
Dewey Doo Bugs fire. I'm telling
They're
you.
boiling shit over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
What was you gonna say about Saturday mornings? Do you remember? We didn't.
Well,
I know we went about three
equating-
different.
Equating to YouTube watching people work. I remember Saturday mornings when I was a kid, they had two woodworking shows that would come on. Norm Avram, and then the guy.
Old Yankee Workshop.
Oh, yeah, New Yankee Workshop.
It was old. Now it's new.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But there was another guy that used no power tools before him. Like the same morning, he
did all the hand chisels and all that stuff.
We
Yeah.
had a duck call guy on. I told you when I was in college, and we didn't have no cable. We watched the damn shit. And we was making fun
Saturday
of it,
mornings.
and then I got sucked into it.
I was bored.
We didn't have no cable, and it was the only thing that came on the bunny ears or whatever. And I'm like, look at this stupid shit. And we're like making, dude.
Well, look. So my dad would watch it with us, and I'm like, what? So I started thinking about it. He's just watching another man work, and there's something about that draws you to it, and that's why I watch
Because
YouTube
it's a
people
skill.
working. Yeah, it's,
right.
it's a skill that you're kind of familiar with, but you're not as good. But you enjoy watching somebody.
And I
else
can
do
take
it.
a pointer too. I can take something away from.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, you might not want to watch like a skilled seamstress sew as a man. Maybe you do. I'm not trying to be whatever, but
I used to call
woodworking-
it fabric welding.
Yeah, right. Canceled. Yeah. But like as a man, woodworking, fishing, hunting, welding. I've never welded, but I'm gonna watch that. I want to know how he does it.
Yeah.
You look at it; those shows do good, man. Like
Dirty Jobs, Mike Rowe. Look at that.
All of these most popular Discovery Channel shows were working shows like Deadliest Catch,
Yes.
The Gold Rush,
Yes.
Swamp people.
Swamp people.
West Coast
You know,
Choppers, Orange
and
County Choppers.
they all
That
have
was
the
all about somebody building something that was like, okay, the everyday guy doesn't do this,
But he likes it. He wants to know about
Or,
it.
or look at what's the one Forged in Fire where they make
Yeah, they
I
make it
never
nice.
watched that, but I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Like-
They had a dude from over here in it.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
it's like.
But I'll
people
tell you
are
where-
interested in that stuff.
where they mess up at is they'll start off and it's actual content from the actual guy that works. It's his show. And you can see the first year does dynamite. First season American Choppers was incredible.
Yeah.
And every season after that, the producers get involved, the storytellers get involved,
Correct.
and grown men can see that.
Well, they
They're like,
turn it into a soap opera.
it turns into, and then it goes away, and it does it to everything.
It starts feeling like it's scripted.
But to me, that's the difference between the American Chopper or the network and then YouTube, Facebook, and all this
Right.
shit. They can sell out online. You could sell out
could.
tomorrow on your,
They could. They rarely do. But
Discovery Channel could come in tomorrow and be like, they want to bring a girl in,
And I'll
I'll
see that.
argue with her.
We gotta have an tag.
Yeah, we gotta have a fucking.
it may not.
They stole the WWE.
Correct, 100%. And guess what? It works. It works.
It may not be happening yet some of it is, but eventually you will see Discovery Channel, TLC moving into big YouTube guys and trying to crack into, or not control, but trying to get their paws in it, because what they're holding on to is going away.
I'm surprised. You're absolutely right. I'm surprised they haven't done more
They're trying.
already.
They're
They're
trying.
so, they have, but they're so behind the 8 ball. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I think, what I think too? I think maybe they think they can't do a whole lot of it because then they tip the hat that whatchamacallit is dying. If they go too hard into YouTube, then their advertisers won't pay them for
Right.
the
Well,
cable channels that
I've
they have
noticed
now.
that commercials are like on YouTube are like regular commercials used to be back in the 90s. You're getting one every 5 minutes.
Well, they're quicker though.
They are quick, and we can't skip
we
it
have
now.
we have gnat or goldfish attention spans.
Right.
You're not going to do a 30-second commercial. It's like you gotta
But
now.
And what I thought was crazy, like going to that advertising thing, man, is like John Luke will be in there. He's 5, he's watching his cartoons. Or whatever. Well, when you watch them on the streaming devices, like back in the day, you remember when we watched cartoons and stuff, they had big long commercials in between. And what they have?
Selling your
Some
toys.
stuff to toys.
Yeah.
So like now it's weird because like when you watch all these streaming channels and stuff, most of them, they don't have stuff like that. So when they flip over to like Nickelodeon or Real TV,
They don't know what's up.
they see the advertisement. They're like, it's like their mind just blew.
Oh, I
away.
remember,
Like, holy shit,
Jaden, people, he's 14 right now. I remember when he was like 7 or 8, he literally looked at me and was like, whenever like SpongeBob went off, because he was always on the YouTube,
Yeah.
he was watching cable and he was like, what happened to the show? And I said, it was a commercial. I'll never forget this. And he goes, what's a commercial? I remember that.
Yeah.
I was at my old house.
Well,
I'm like,
it's-
are you
it's
shitting me?
true. It's like, it's weird because it's like these kids now, like with everything social media,
did-
they're
Dude, you did good. I don't know why you were so damn nervous about being on
They
damn.
did good, man.
I mean, yeah, I know. We're gonna fix all this.
We gotta get
It's
the mic.
bullshit.
We gotta get the headset.
Look, you got a rap for us, a little rhyme right
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Let's wrap it up. Only thing I didn't get to finish was with you, Vincent, about the whole social media thing. But do we need to save that? Or you gassed out? You was going hard in the paint.
I can run it.
You was going hard.
Back for 10 minutes.
You got to hold the mic so we can talk to you.
Yeah, anybody heard you what you just said?
We can run it back if you want.
No, let's wrap it up. But we
He's
2
like,
hours and
Yeah,
15 minutes.
we gotta break.
Joey's,
I gotta break all this stuff down.
Joey's struggling over there.
I gotta break all this stuff
Joey's
down.
smelling the ribs. He's like, God damn, we're trying
tell you
to do
what.
potato salad. I got
Everybody that tuned in tonight, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We did the racing stuff and then we pivoted into whatever the hell this was. Every time
Yeah.
you come over here, it's fun.
There's a lot of information, guy.
This is
A lot.
This is how podcasts should be.
I think so too.
This is the National Geographic podcast.
And the Serengeti
Yeah.
when they're tracking the wildebeest and the lions is stalking everybody. This is
Yeah.
real
But
shit.
did you not say that you had one of the highest viewership with Chase's fan base?
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
not
There's
one
no-
of the
One of
the
the. So literally that's how strong his fan base is.
100%.
And then that's how committed why he has the following he does. So
Yep.
that's, hence the social media might not pay you, but the people that are supporting you
Correct.
is under. So that's really cool to see at any level, right? And
love
to
it.
be right here in South Mississippi is really cool.
I love it. Hey, we're not done talking your story. We'll do it on another podcast.
We're
I know-
always here.
Yeah, I know.
We got to come up here and drink again.
We're gonna.
Drew, hey,
Dinah and I are supposed to launch smoke session. I don't know. We need a
Well,
producer. So if anybody
Drew,
on TikTok will
thank
help
you for telling your
produce.
story. I don't know why the hell you was hesitant. You fucking
Yeah,
that was
you
awesome,
killed it.
dude. That was bullshit. You don't want
Yeah.
to get on here. And I want to see more from you and talk more to you again about all that shit. And Moran, you're always Moran, baby.
I'm
Hey.
100% consistent.
Always consistent. Thanks everybody for watching on the live. This was a long one. We had a good time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We're gonna do more like this, and we'll see y'all on the next